Reminders for everyone. As you register, change your name into your real name for easy identification. For example, your school underscore surname underscore first name. Again, as you register, change your name into your real name for easy identification. For example, your school underscore surname underscore first name. Thank you.
Before we start our event, let us first feel the presence of the Lord sung by the PUP Hymnic Serenata, followed by singing of the national anthem.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Janine Bakiran together with Miss Erlene Dalohan, and we are your hosts for today's event. And we would like to welcome you all to Eventually, adapting the new normal, entering the new realm of events management. Hello, I am so excited to have you all here, and we are all excited for all the amazing conversations we're going to have today. We have three amazing speakers who will be sharing their stories and experiences with us. And what's special about these three is that they have an expertise in the field of events management, so they will be able to share the proper knowledge to the audiences. They're going to talk about how people working in the industry manage to survive as we try to adapt to the changes we're facing now.
I definitely agree, Miss Janine. We would also like to acknowledge the 189 participants. Wow, I'm so overwhelmed with all the numbers of participants. From what university? We have participants from PUP, IRS Manila, Gordiano, from Hospitality and Tourism Management, Pasig. Okay. St. Joseph College, Pangasinan State University, Pateros Technological College, and many more. We would also like to acknowledge the presence of our course facilitator, Professor Hayden Aikalabig, and of course, our speaker, Mr. Matoog and Mr. Acapulco are also here. Our warmest welcome. Of course, sending virtual hug from all of you guys. Thank you for joining us today. Please enjoy the webinar.
Before we begin, let me remind you of the house rules. Reminders to everyone. As you register, change your name into your real name for easy identification. For example, your school _surname _first name. Kindly observe the following rules and etiquette. Please keep your mic muted throughout the entire webinar to avoid disruptions. Kindly open your video if possible. As for the dress code, please wear smart casual clothes. The two MCs will utilize the question and answer portion as well as the raising concerns right after the presentation of our resource speakers. Kindly accomplish the evaluation form that will be posted on our Facebook page right after the event. As for the e-certificate, certificates will be provided 3 to 5 working days after the day of the event. Thank you very much. Reminders to everyone. Please open your camera as much as possible as we have a special prize for you.
Are you ready, guys? I know you're all excited for today. We're also excited, but before we start, we prepared a few games that you will surely enjoy. So our first game is called 4 Picks 1 Word. It is a word puzzle game. You will see 4 photos which you have to use to guess which word is hidden among the letters that are available to you. And if you know the answer, don't forget to type your answers in our chat box. So are you ready? Okay, so for our 4 Picks 1 Word, we have, all right, so if you know the answer, guys, kindly send your answer in our chat box. Okay, so I think we already have a winner from PUP Manila. Am I right, Miss Janine? From PUP Manila, Mr. Solano, LG, he answered planner. So his answer is correct. The correct answer is planner. Congratulations, Mr. LG. For our next word,
For our
we have
second word, and we already have a winner. From PUP Manila, Ms. Avanica Cleoshila, congratulations. She answered events. Congratulations, Ms. Avanica.
Okay, so I think we already have a winner from PUP Manila also. Wow, PUP Manila are so competitive. So from PUP Manila, Miss Danica Robis, she answered ho. So her answer is correct. The correct answer is ho. Congratulations, Miss Danica.
Congratulations to all the winners. Please wait for Ms. Salina Ahito, our finance head, to message you so you can claim your prize.
To formally start our event, may we call on Miss Leslie Shapdown, the chairman of this event, to give her opening remarks. Let's give her a virtual round of applause.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, our honorable faculty members, and to our guest speakers, Mr. Caloy Matoog, Mr. Rigil Kent Acapulco, and Mr. Mark David Jaime for humbly accepting our invitation, and to all the participants who are here with us today. On behalf of Onse team, it is my great pleasure to welcome you this afternoon. We would like to acknowledge our course facilitator, Professor Hayden Aikalabig, for giving us the opportunity to conduct this kind of event. Many businesses were impacted by the pandemic, including the events industry, because meetings, gatherings, and celebrations were prohibited. Despite this, they attempted to recover and adopt various adjustments, innovations, and restrictions. So join us as we learn how event management can survive and thrive despite of difficulty. I hope you will learn in this webinar, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Leslie. That was a very simple yet inspiring message. I hope you're all excited as we are. May I remind again everyone to please open your camera as much as possible as we have a special prize for you. And now, let me introduce our first speaker. Joining us today is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication with specialization in broadcasting. He was a project manager in LPU Kabataang Pangarap ni Rizal back in 2015. He's also a concert and event specialist from the year 2019 up to present. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a virtual round of applause to Mr. Caloy Matoog. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. While waiting for Mr. Matoog, Miss Arlene, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you today, Janine?
I'm actually looking forward for this event because I'm curious about the events management and how they cope up with a pandemic.
Okay. So, while we're waiting for Mr. Mataag to fix his presentation, may we request everyone to please open your camera so we can see your beautiful and handsome faces. Alright. Ang gaganda at ang gagwapo nga ng ating mga participants today. Miss Janine,
Yes.
do you want to interview our participants for today?
Yes, I would love to.
So, we
May I
have
interview?
here- Okay, go on, Miss Janine.
May I interview Mr. Joshua Maanyo? Are you here, Mr. Joshua? Can you open your mic? Can you open your camera and unmute your mic?
For our technical team, may you unmute Mr. Maanyo's mic so he can speak?
Hello, hello. Hello?
Hi, Mr. Maanyo.
Yes. Hello, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm great. Sorry.
So I just want to ask if ano yung nilook forward mo for today's event?
I'm looking forward for paano magsa-survive yung MICE industry despite of this pandemic. So I want to know then kung paano yung mga gagawin ng mga events manager kung paano yung process nila ngayon. And ayun po, I want to learn from them.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Maanyo. I was actually looking forward to that also. Kasi curious din ako, paano nagawa makasurvive ng event industry ngayong pandemic? Dahil alam naman natin, yung hospital industry, sobrang nag-strive sila para makabangon ulit, lalo na talagang bumaksak yung turismo at yung hospitality industry natin ngayong pandemic. So we're still waiting for Mr. Matoog. Again, we're sorry for the small technical difficulty.
So while waiting for Mr. Matoog, did you guys know that the largest attendance at a music festival was attracted a record of 3.3 million revelers to Vienna on the weekend of 26 to 28 June 2015. So that's one of our trivia for today.
So let me give another trivia, Ms. Arlene. Do you know that the longest birthday is 48 hours and was achieved by Paul Morgan in Lihue, Hawaii? So Paul made his record-breaking attempt to celebrate his 28th birthday. Imagine celebrating your birthday for 48 hours. Magiging memorable talaga yon.
Okay, I think Mr. Matoog are not here pa. So,
hello, sorry, I'm here
okay.
na. Hi.
Hi, sir.
Hi,
Good
sir.
afternoon po.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you allow me to share screen so I can present my PowerPoint?
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the technical difficulty.
It's okay po.
Okay. So, shall I start?
Yes, sir. You may start. Thank you.
So, first of all, pakilala ko yung sarili ko. I am Caloy Matoog, working as a concerts and events specialist. So, tatakal natin ngayon ay events management and marketing. So let me start with my educational background. I studied in Lyceum, nabanggit na kanina, and right now I am currently taking up my masteral at De La Salle University with applied media technology studies. And then baka familiar kayo. So ano yung unang concert na napuntahan nyo? So here are some international artists na nag-concert dito sa Pilipinas. So share ko sa inyo yung unang napuntahan ko, which is the One Direction. Ito, way back 2015, yan yung unang concert ko na napuntahan as an attendee. So dyan ako nag-start ma-fascinate na masarap umattend ng concerts hanggang sa nagsunod-sunod na naging laman ako ng mga rave hanggang sa I never knew na magiging career ko tong events. And then moving on, ito yung sum ng mga TV shows at events na na-handle ko. So as you can see, nag-start ako noong 2019, medyo na-hold lang ngayon kasi because of the pandemic, so soon makakabalik din tayo. And then, let me ask you participants, so please use na lang the chat box. Ano yung unang event na inorganize nyo? Whether it is a surprise, a birthday party, a farewell party, gender reveal or baby shower, or get-together. So kahit simple get-together lang yan, for me, it isn't considered events na rin eh. Kasi nagplano ka, nag-set ka ng time, kunyari, 10 kayo sa magkakaibigan. Tapos kakain kayo sa labas. It's a simple event na yun. As much as that kasi, pinlot mo, sinat mo isa-isa yung mga kaibigan mo, o anong oras kayo pwede. Diba? It's a simple events management na for me. So, nag-start ako sa school. Nag-manage ako ng mga events namin sa organization, sa Tanghalang Batingaw. Nag-start ako as a member and alumni relations officer and stage manager din ako. So ano yung natutunan ko? Unang-una, coordination. I learned to be organized. I learned to plot schedules and I learned to follow a timeline. And then later on, napunta ako sa Kabataang Pangarap ni Rizal. It's a organization dedicated to promote the idealism of our national hero. So ano yung natutunan ko doon? So unang-una, in-house photographer lang ako doon kasi saling ket-ket lang ako doon kasi may papagkain, sabi ng presidente, o picture ka dito, bigyan kita pagkain. Doon ako nag-start, saling ket-ket lang hanggang sa nung nawala na yung mga seniors, biglang VP for documentations, and then at the same time, nagpa-project manager ako sa mga event nila. So ano yung natutunan ko doon? Natuto ko magsulat ng business letters, natuto ko mag-secure ng mga permits, mag-develop ng project management framework or PMF, natuto ko mag-multitasking, coordination, develop event plan, and natuto ko maging resourceful. And then, nag-intern ako sa ABS-CBN as a events and promo staff under Star Creatives and Star Musics. Star Music. So, binigay ako inassign ako sa mall shows, event activations, press conferences, music video shoots, radio tour, mix, ASAP Chill Out, and then ASAP, Tonight with Boy Abunda, and Himigandog. And side kwento, kaya ako nilagay na crowd control kasi minsan sa mga mall tour, lalo na pag provinces, ako na nga events coordinator, promo staff, nangahatak pa ako ng fans kasi minsan madalas wild. So ito yun yung mga mararanasan natin sa events. So ano yung natutunan ko sa ABS-CBN? So I learned to manage time, write press releases, perform tasks under pressure, develop marketing ideas and strategy. So later on, i-discuss ko kung bakit importante yung mga binabanggit kong characteristics or yung mga natutunan ko. So ano nga bang isang event? It is a planned public or social occasion, a thing that happens, especially one of importance. So sabi pa, it is the application of project management to the creation and development of small and large-scale personal or corporate events such as festivals, conferences, ceremonies, weddings, formal parties, concerts, and conventions. So i-discuss ko sa inyo yung life ko as a concerts and events specialist. So sabi ni Woodward, events management involves overseeing all logistical leading up to and during an event, where there are conferences, wedding, or any organized gathering. Event managers execute event plans by managing staff, finance, vendor relationships, and more. So, sabi nga dito, event manager. So, as an event manager or as a future events manager, mag-manage kayo ng sarili nyong staff, ng finances nyo, vendor relationships, at iba pa. So as an events manager, you are expected to be, number one, be resourceful. Kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng budget management. So pag resourceful tayo, importante sa isang event is yung nakakatipid. Maaaring bumili tayo ng mga props, i-save natin para next time na kailanganin, magagamit pa ulit natin. And at the same time, updated tayo sa mga trend. Kunyari, trend ngayon yung mga online parties, ganyan, online events. So, dapat nag-training na tayo or dapat may kaalaman na tayo sa Zoom or what's any video platform. Kasi ito na yung bago ngayon eh. Matagal pa tayo makakabalik dun sa normal events na nakasanayan natin. And then another one, great communication skills. Pakikipag-usap is isa sa mga importanteng skill na kailangan as an events manager. Can manage time properly. Kunyari, nasa isang venue ka na. pinakamauuna doon si events manager, or kung may tao si events manager, yun yung mauna. Never ever darating ng pa-VIP si events manager kasi what if may concern na kailangan tugunan agad ng sagot. Si number one na tatanungin is si events manager. Work in a given time frame, make updates. So nilagay ko dito, PM is the key. Huwag tayong mag-iintay ng updates from our suppliers or staff. Always, PM is the key. Tanungin mo kagad sila. Huwag ka na mag-intay. And then, highly creative. So, tanong, what if hindi ako highly creative? You can hire someone, for example, an art director, a stylist, or anyone who is highly creative to envision kung ano yung na-envision mo or na-envision ni client, and then how do research. Ngayon, sa panahon ngayon, lahat ng informations almost nasa internet na. So, madali na tayo magiging updated. Highly organized and efficient. Dapat as an events manager, efficient ka kasi you're managing pool of people, dapat susundin ka rin nila. So if organized and efficient ka, susundin ka nila. And then as an events manager, dapat binavalue mo yung mga subordinates mo. People person ka dapat, and then team player. Hindi ka dapat may pinapaboran. Pwedeng kunwari may pinapaboran ka, pero keep it to yourself na lang. Kasi as an events manager, marami kang taong kausap, hindi lang yung mga tao mo. Andun si client, andun si supplier, and then iba-iba pa. And then positive. Positive ka dapat. Kunyari, may nag-arise na problema. Sa events, we don't call it problema. Nilagay ko dito, may concerns po. Kunyari, as an assistant, kakausapin ko si events manager. Pwede mong sabihin, ma'am or sir or miss, may concern po regarding sa ganito. And then state mo yung concern mo. Always start na may concern po. And then you're friendly and then professional. Quick, prompt, alert, and then attentive to details. Dapat, for example, remember mo as an events manager yung laman ng kontrata para if ever na, kunyari, may hilingin si client or si producer, masasabi mo na, ay, as per our contract po, hindi yan parte. So, dapat quick ka and then attentive to details ka. And then build professional relationships with suppliers and the client. So, dapat ma-maintain mo din yung contacts na to kasi it's a work na paulit-ulit lang eh. Kumbaga, kung meron kang trusted na supplier, pagtatrust ka rin nila kahit minsan, kunyari, delay yung bayad because of the release of the payment or merong mga concerns sa iba or pwede madalas nakaka-discounts ka pa kasi matagal na yung relationship nyo. And then sabi ko dito, be loyal to your suppliers so that they will give their best service. So, di ba, pag loyal tayo sa suppliers natin or pag lagi sila yung kinukuha mo, number one advantage mo doon is magkaka-discount ka. And then number two, always na lang ibibigay yung best nila sa service. And then the last one, listen to your producer or clients. As an events manager, ang papakinggan mo lang lagi not the opinion of others, but the opinion of your producer as mas mataas sa'yo or client. And then events, it's just a phase. Bakit ko sinabing phase? There are processes, flow, routine involved in an event. The process can be your own process. Meron kang sariling process na sinusundan or strategy. Pero for us, meron kaming tinatawag na three phases or stages of an event. So ano nga ba yung mga stages na yon? Bago ko i-discuss yung stages, napasok ako noon sa Viva Live Inc. and Viva Artist Agency. This was 2019. Sorry. So ano natutunan ko sa pagpasok ko sa Viva? Number one, budget management. Number two, to be highly creative. Mag-develop kami ng mga pakulo or mga pasabog, as I call it, marketing calendar. Ano yung mga pakulo na yon or pasabog? So depende na yon sa mga event. Kunyari, Valentine's concert, meron kang pa-roses sa lahat ng single or pa-roses sa lahat ng nanay, gano'n. Para lang may trademark ka, ma-remember kung ano yung experience kasi yung binibenta natin sa events. Always remember that. Marketing calendar, strategies, and online content. Artist and staff coordination, develop repertoire or sequence guide. Later, i-discuss ko yung sequence guide na yan. Events managing, marketing, and lastly, not to sleep. Isa sa mga pinaka-main concerns ng pag nag events or lalo na pag may event, kulang tayo sa tulog. So, dapat, pag may oras tayong matulog, matutulog na tayo. So, baka tinatanong nyo, ang dami namang kailangan gawin. Do I need to do all of the works? Yes or no? My answer is no. Kaya nga events management, you will manage kasi nakita nyo nga doon sa video kanina, sa simula, di ba may mga nagbubuhat ng gamit from the truck. Hindi naman pwedeng si events manager magbubuhat nun. Maraming taong involved sa isang event. So, yung pinaka-importante is na to do what is assigned to her. For example, in this class, you are assigned as a technical program head or technical person, pwede kang mag-overboard sa ginagawa mo. Kung kunyari, you are tapped by the events manager na, oy, kung sakaling free ka, baka pwede kang tumulong to someone or to the marketing team. Yun yung sample. And then, my answer is, you can hire. Pwede kang mag-hire. Kunyari, suppliers for any logistical concerns. Dito napapasok yung lights, sounds, stage, LED screens, safety, anything, catering, dito rin papasok sa suppliers. Anything na kailangan mo na hindi mo mapoprovide, which is ipoprovide ni supplier. Ushers, madalas si ushers provided na ni venue, pero for some reasons, dapat meron ka ring pool ng freelance ushers para if kunyari, walang ushers na contact si venue, meron kang mahuhugot. And then bouncers. Meron din kaming pool ng mga bouncers. And then emergency response, which is standby ambulance and medic. So sabi ko nga kanina, sa tingin mo hindi ka creative enough to do all of the works or to do all of the creative works, you can hire an events director, art director, or stylist. The prime work of an events manager is to manage and oversee everything. So, producer versus client. Pag ang kaibahan ni producer, si producer yung nagpa-finance ng isang event. For example, concert. Merong producer si concert. Or sa mga event naman such as wedding, walang producer doon dahil ang client mo is kung sino yung kumuha sa'yo. For example, kumuha sa'yo yung bride. So, yun yung client mo. So, ang kaibahan lang doon, si client, siya yung madalas na celebrant. Whereas si producer, siya yung boss ni events manager. Pwede rin namang maging si producer at si events manager ay isa. Kung business ni events manager ay nagpo-produce siya ng shows. So, stages of events management. We have pre-production, the event itself, and the post-production. So pre-production, conceptualization, presentation of concept to the producer or client. Choose suppliers, mamimili na kayo ng mga suppliers nyo, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina. Kunyari, ticketing, madalas si SM Tickets, 'di ba? Ang suppliers nyo or ang bridge nyo na magbenta ng ticket, madalas yung mga ganito, 10% ng buong benta ng concerts is napupunta kay SM Tickets or kung sino pang event, ticket seller nyo kasi yun yung magiging parang pinakabayad nyo sa kanila. Alignment meetings for all parties concerned, client or producers, weekly updates, finalization of details, contracts, down payments, rehearsals, and dry runs. So, lahat ng to, ito yung nangyayari sa pre-production. Magko-conceptualize kayo ng concept, present sa approving party, kung kunyari, mayroon na kayong concept, maghahanap na kayo ng suppliers, i-align mo na sa lahat ng suppliers, ganito yung concept, sa client, ito yung mangyayari, and then updates. So bago kayo mag-event, dapat may kontrata kayo. Never ever do an event or start an event without a contract. That will make you safe and secure. So later, di-discuss ko kung bakit importante na may kontrata. Down payments kasi normally, ang mga suppliers nagre-require ng down payment or si events manager madalas nagre-require din siya ng down payment kay client para matuloy yung event. For example, 50% or how many percent din. And then rehearsals and dry runs. So ito yung mga dapat yung alalahanin bago mag-start ang isang event. Number 1, napirmahang kontrata. Kahit anong supplier yan, mapa, ushers, photo coverage, singer, or what, dapat may kontrata kayo. Sabi ko nga kanina, para maging safe kayo, kunyari, there an instance na meron kaming isang concert noon sa abroad, pero hindi ako kasama sa ano na yan. May isang naging issue nun sa amin na si talent namin pinakanta sa meet and greet, which is hindi pasok sa contract namin. So si talent as professional kasi si talent, pinagbigyan niya na kumanta siya sa meet and greet, which is hindi pasok sa kontrata. So dali-dali naming tinawagan ang abogado namin para gumawa ng quotation na pinakanta si ganito sa event. So right away nagpadala kami ng charge. So yun yung what I mean na bakit dapat magkaroon tayo ng sign na kontrata. Number 2, develop and approve repertoire. What do I mean by repertoire? Sequence of events for reference of the workforce, client, or reference of all. Ito yung sinisend sa invitation, kunyari, entrance of the bride, ganyan, list of songs and activities. So ito, madalas dapat inform dito lahat ng mga taong involved. Suppliers, workforce, para alam nila yung flow na nangyayari. Mapa, event, meeting, or concert yan. And then number 3, timeline. Dapat, kunyari, 3 months before, ito na yung timeline nyo. For the first week, ito yung ginagawa nyo. Reference din yan eh. Kumbaga may guide kayo, natatrack nyo yung progress ng event nyo. And list of all workforce and suppliers of the event. Kasi, importante na meron tayong Viber group yung pinaka-importante or walkie-talkie or number 1 or kahit anong means of communication. So sa amin, ang madalas namin ginagamit is Viber. Kasi para nandun yung seamless yung communication. In terms of workforce, nagsaserve din kasi yung list of workforce as an attendance. Guest list. Pagdating naman sa social events like wedding, importante ang guest list to keep track din kung ilan na yung guest natin, sumusobra na ba tayo sa seating capacity, and more. So ito pa yung madalas na nangyayari sa isang event. Research and planning, proposal and alignments, tapos i-accept na ng mga accepting parties, client or producer, and then feedback or updates. So event itself, time management, stage management, props and things needed, arrangement, technical requirements, backstage management, monitoring of schedule, workforce management, TV coverage, and food distribution. So, baka na-overwhelm na tayo na ang daming nangyayari sa isang event. So, what I'm discussing is the big event itself. So, maraming talaga nangyayari. So, ito na yung nangyayari sa araw mismo ng event. Number 1, ingress natin per supplier. For example, merong kang wedding. Pinakaunang papasok doon is the pinakamalaking supplier. Kunyari, si stage. Always allot a day before. Kunyari, tomorrow na yung concert. Dapat kaninang madaling araw, pumasok na si stage or nakatayo na yung stage. Kasi, kunyari, 12 midnight to 3 a.m. Sa-set up si stage, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. si speaker, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. si lights. Pagdating ng 9 a.m. dapat tapos na lahat ng ingress or setup kasi magdadatingan na lahat ng staff for the rehearsals. And then pag nagdatingan na lahat ng staff, iraran na yung mga technical na kinabit kung nag-work na ba sila all together. And then magdadatingan na yung mga artista, yung mga participants, or yung mga clients mo. So, iraran nyo na yung repertoire na sinabi ko kanina, which is may list of songs or activities, ganon. Yun yung magsisilbing rehearsal nyo sa day ng event. Stage and venue adjustment. So, for example, ngayon nyo lang nakita yung stage. So may time pa kayo para mag-adjust. And then for performers and staff participation, dito na mangyayari na magpa-participate na yung mga staff wherein preparation. Ito na yung mangyayari na mag-prepare na si staff, kakain na yan, or for example, si artist, mag-make up na, gano'n. And then, open house. What do I mean by open house? Bubuksan na yung mga gates natin para makapasok na yung audience natin o yung guests natin, and then magko-concert na or the event itself na. And then after an event, tapos na yung event. And then, after an event, same as ingress, ang egress natin is a term para paglabas lahat ng suppliers naman natin. Kung ang ingress, ang pinakamalalaking suppliers, for example, stage, ang egress natin, ang una naman is ang pinakamaliliit. For example, ang pinakamaliit natin is ilaw, speakers, and then the stage itself. So post-production, tapos na yung event. So tapos na ba yung duties natin? Hindi pa. So kunyari may client kayo, pwede kayo magkaroon or may concert. Check and balance meeting with the client, producer, or the team. So ano ba yung ginagawa doon? Pwede nyo i-discuss saan ba nagkamali, kung meron man, or ano pa yung pwede natin gawin para maging better yung experience sa susunod natin event. Pwede natin din i-discuss yung strong at saka weak points ng event. Pwede rin tayo magkaroon ng evaluation form, pero optional na to. Kunyari, we have client. Pwede na nating mag-release tayo sa kanya ng evaluation form para malaman natin yung suggestions niya. And then talent releasing. For the workforce, for example, the medic, the usher, or the makeup artist, or the stylist, the performer, it is after the event. Yun yung kadalasan. Pero for big suppliers like stage or whatsoever, at least 7 days ang bayaran sa kanila. And then mag-audit na tayo. So, magkakaroon din ng safekeeping, profiling of all papers para may record tayo kung ano yung nangyari, or may reference din tayo sa susunod ng mga event, pwede natin magamit to. And then, editing for TV coverage and recorded shows. And then, panghuli, as an events manager, self-realization. Ano pa yung pwede mong maging opportunities to make your event better the next time? So, events management. But how can I manage too many events? For example, masyado ka nang na-overwhelm kasi ang daming nangyayari na events. Pag big events, we have 3-month lead time na inaalat namin bago mangyari ang isang events. And then 3 months will include 1 month for planning, sourcing, meetings, and then 1 month for rehearsals, updates, and 1 month for the final touches. So hindi pwede na today na yung event and stuff may babaguhin ka pa unless it is a major concern na magre-require ng safety. And small events, for example, birthday party, so pinaka-suggested na dyan is 1 month. For weekly events naman, so meron akong client, casino, na hindi ko na papangalanan, meron silang weekly na tugtog or event. So for that, we have dapat monthly or yearly planning para may reference lang tayo sa weekly events natin. So suggested number of events that will handle an events manager, or suggested number of events na hahawakan ng isang events manager is 2 events per month. For me, na yun yung kaya kong hawakan, whether it is big and small. So budget management, importante din to is, paano ba kumikita ang events? Number 1, service fee. A certain percentage of the total budget will be a service fee. For example, merong 100,000 or 300,000 na budget si client. Pwede ka magpatong na out of the 500,000, 30% of that 500,000 will be your service fee or additional mo. Or number 1, or number 2, service rate. You have a fixed rate as an events planner or events manager. For example, yung 500,000 nga na yon, gusto ni client i-max mo para uh, bongga or maganda yung wedding nila, pwede kang mag-rate, for example, 30,000 or 20,000. Depends na rin sa pakikipag-usap nyo. Or number 3, ticket sales. Ito rin yung way na kumikita yung ibang events natin. And then, talent commissions. A part of the TF will be deducted. For example, yung client namin sa casino, yung mga ibang banda doon is may talent commissions kami kasi kami yung naghahanap ng schedule nila. Kami yung bibigyan ng schedule na, o kunyari, tumugtog kayo for this day, 20% ng budget nila for that day or TF nila for that day is napupunta sa events manager. Last is sponsorships. Kunyari, wala naman kayong ticket, wala na bang kayong ticket selling. For this event, kunyari, itong webinar natin na to, you can generate money for sponsorships. Number 1, ano ba yung kino-cover ni sponsorships? Pwede rin ma-cover yung expenses nun, yung mga talent fees and whatsoever. So, 2 kinds of budget. Number 1 is the formal budget. So, yung formal budget includes ito yung cost of persons and suppliers to be paid, including the taxes, service fees, etc. And then number 2, internal budget. Only the events management team. This includes savings from the budget. So, ayun nga, yung sinabi ko kanina, what if gusto i-max ni client na 500,000 yung budget. So, pasok ko sa internal budget wherein, kunyari, ang kuha mo ng fireworks is 70,000 or what, pero ang nakalagay na budget is 80,000. So, yung 10,000 na yun is your savings. Dadagdag yun sa kinikita mo. So, ito yung sample ng formal budget. So, tingnan nyo na lang muna or maybe you can screenshot para pwede nating maging reference yan. For example, styling needs, wedding gown, wedding ring, catering, host fee, giveaways, performers fee, photo and video, and then venue. So, ano yung base price na yan? Yung base price na yan, it is yung nandun sa kontrata. Kunyari, ang kuha niyo sa catering for 100 packs or 50 packs is 50,000, may tax yon na 12% or value-added tax. Always ask kung supplier o yung tao kung meron siyang resibo. What do I mean by resibo is yung resibo na registered sa BRR kasi isa yan sa mga sinisilip pag nag-a-apply tayo ng business permit. So, mahalaga na merong tax yung mga kinukuha natin. So, pag wala naman, okay lang din na walang tax yung mga kinukuha natin. For example, itong wedding gown, wala siyang tax pero napakiusapan mo si designer na 5% discount. So, ayun, may kaltas kang 1,500. So, from 30,000, 28,500 na lang siya. So, pag tinotal mo, kunyari, 206,700. So, plus 20%. Yung service fee, kunyari, yun na yung service fee mo as an events manager or events planner. So, ang total budget mo is 248,040 pesos. So, gets ba? Madalas na pumapasok sa formal budget is the list of all suppliers and then hired workforce, lahat ng lalabas na pera is papasok sa formal budget. Events marketing, you need to be creative and resourceful. So, paano ba natin i-market yung event natin? Number 1, we have the traditional, which is the flyers, billboards, word of mouth, press releases, press conferences, newspaper advertisement, TV guesting, and giveaways. Also, ngayon, nauuso na yung online electronic means such as LED billboard, spots, save the date video teasers, online content, trivia, countdown, and video invites. So ito yung sample ng poster or online content na ginawa namin. Yung Tala concert ni Sarah last March. Ito yung side kwento lang. Itong dalawang poster sa taas na to. Yan yung event ko last March. May isa pa dyan na hindi ko nasama. So last March, 3 yung minamanage kong event. So you can imagine the stress. And then countdown and then giveaways. So, lalo na ngayon, social media, how do we deal with feedback and criticism? Number one, makikinig tayo dapat sa mga taong totoong involved, which is the director, the creative staff, etc., or the client itself. Wag na wag tayo magdi-deal sa mga hindi naman engaged, or for example, audience, ticket buyer. For me, hindi na dapat sila pinakakinggan kasi bias sila eh. Do not deal with social media comment section. Or for example, do not give fans what they want, rather give them what they will consume. So ikaw dapat yung nagbibigay ng topic nila or pagkakaguluhan nila. So ang tawag ko dito is trendsetter. And if you have clients, suggest on the things that the client may not have an idea. So pag wala namang idea si client, pwede ka mag-offer na ito po yung mga teams namin or events namin na suggested. And then always the feedback of your client is important. So, publicity is still publicity whether good or bad. So, kahit anong publicity yan, basta naging matunog yung pangalan ng event natin, it's still publicity. So, branding. Bakit kailangan ng branding? Kasi para magkaroon tayo ng trademark. Kunyari, pag sinabing, for example, may events company kayo. For example, ang pangalan niya is Eventually. Ganon. Pag sinabing eventually, ano ba yung magre-recall sa pandinig ng tao? So, ito yung ilan na may nakatrabaho ko na may branding. Number one, si Derek Paulo Valenciano. As we all know, anak siya ni Sir Gary. Known siya for directing concerts, rave parties, and theater plays. Ang branding niya, strobe lights at saka LED cube lagi na nakasuspend sa kisame ng isang venue. And then, Derek Paul Basinilio, isa din to sa mga nakatrabaho ko, which is known for directing Sarah Geronimo's concert. So, ang branding niya, opening and countdown. So, siya lagi, pag may event siya, expected ko na may 10, 9, 8 na countdown lagi sa simula. So, why there is a need for branding? Instant recall. Pag sinabing, pangalan ni, for example, pangalan ni Kylie Andal. Pag narinig ba yung pangalan ni Kylie Andal, ano yung masasabi natin? Siya yung events manager na may free na fireworks. Ganon. Or pag sinabi na, eventually, events management, ito yung branding ni eventually. Mare-recall nga natin, and sa recall na yon, pwede tayo maka-attract ng future clients. Sabi ko pa dito, experience is our product. So, kung ano yung experience ng tao, yun yung produkto mo. Yun yung negosyo natin. And then, as an events manager, branding also builds our identity as an events person or identity as an events company. So, pag sinabi ko nga, pag narinig nila yung pangalan na ganito, ano yung matatandaan nila? Gets? And then, trademark. For example, you have an item or experience that is associated with your brand. Pag sinabing fireworks inside the venue, o kunyari ano yung mareremember nila. Itong trademark na to pwede rin maging positive or negative. For example, may wedding tayong client. For example, si Proposito Events, naglagay ng fountain inside the venue. So it is a good trademark. Or for example naman, yung staff ng eventually, kunyari, nagsungit sa isang attendant, yun also is a trademark din. So, importante na always be civil with our participants or our client. Kahit minsan inis na inis ka na, gusto mo na silang batukan, civil pa rin. Isigaw mo na lang sa CR yung kulo mo or yung inis mo sa kanila. Kasi, as I've said earlier, client natin sila or participant, hindi na dapat tayo nakikipag-deal sa mga participants kasi nakaka-stress lang din. Sabi ko pa, ito, what they will remember is important. So kung ano ngayon na experience nila sa event mo, importante yun kasi yun na yun nakatatak sa mga audience natin or sa ating guest or attendant. Tatatak din to sa client natin. Kung ano ba yung naging experience nila, maaaring umulit pa sila sa inyo after their wedding, nagkaanak na, kunin nila kayo sa binyag, or kaya nag-7th birthday na, kukunin nila kayo sa mga stages ng buhay nila. And ayun pa nga, the experience is our product. So events under pandemic, paano nga ba nangyari? We have the full online, which is ito, yung webinar natin. This is considered as a full online. Coordination of all the meetings are done virtually. The artists and the audiences are at their own homes. There are no physical contact. And then number two is the hybrid. Mixture siya ng online and physical events. Lahat ng coordination nangyayari virtually, pero magkakaroon ng presence sa araw mismo ng event. Which is, I have it in our concert, yung March, yung kay Sarah. Full online kami, pero the day of our shoot, which is 3 days sa Araneta, that is considered hybrid. So ano yung nangyari? Nagkaroon kami ng swab tests, which is normal na, lalo na ngayong quarantine or lalo na ngayong may pandemic kasi may joke na nga kami, tusukan ilong 2021 or 2020 kasi napurga na yung ilong namin kakatusok sa swab test, ganon. So yun na yung mga new normal, lalo na pag hybrid. Kasi ang hybrid, it will require na physical contact. It will also, yung output nyo is virtually, kaya siya hybrid. Nangyayari siya physically, pero ang output natin is virtually. So lalo na ngayon, sa mga GCQ or MGCQ areas, pwede na ang face-to-face events. So dagdag ko lang pala sa hybrid, always kaming naka full face shield, mask, and then PPE, which is sobrang init. So paano minsan hindi na namin nakikilala yung sarili namin, nilalagyan na lang namin ng pangalan yung facial namin dito or dito para na lang makilala kami kasi wala nang kita sa amin eh. Naka full protective gear na lang kami, ang kita na lang sa amin is yung mga mata. So pag face-to-face events, limitation of attendees para ma-maintain yung physical distancing, celebrants and artists are not the one who will wear masks and face shield. Pwedeng si client or celebrant hindi naka-face shield or naka-face mask. Pero the rest, lahat ng attendees is naka-face shield or face mask. So challenges ng events industry ngayong pandemic. Number one yung na-experience ko kanina, which is technical aspects. Number one, or hindi siya masyadong maalam like dito sa platform na to, which is Zoom, hindi siya madaling maka-cope up. Number two, technological advancements, which is yung Zoom, FB Live, or what. Papasok din dito rin kasi yung technical aspects natin, which is, for example, kanina, naghang yung laptop ko kaya nawala, or masyadong mahina yung internet signal sa area natin. And then funds, apektado rin kasi ng pandemic ang events industry. Isa sa mga pinakagrabeng naapektuhan. So, it also gave the notion sa client natin na huwag kang muna mag-event kasi safe. Tsaka ka na lang mag-event pag okay na. So, yun pa yung additional na challenges. And then, additional expenses, yun nga yung pagtupad natin sa health protocols, additional expenses pa yung paglalagay natin ng plastic shield, face mask, weekly na swab test, which is sa amin. And then dati wala naman kaming safety officer kasi may medic on standby lang kami. Pero ngayon may safety officer na magre-remind na physical distancing or your mask, gano'n. Or ito yung example ng events na nangyari under the pandemic. Hybrid shows to, which is yung number one, yung kay Regine Velasquez. If nabalitaan nyo, yung Freedom, February, and then the Tala concert of Sarah G with last March 27. And then the upcoming Darren Home Run, the comeback concert. Itong tatlo na to is considered hybrid shows wherein, ano ba yung naiba? Pag sinabing hybrid show, personalized experience kasi pwede kang nasa bahay lang eh. Through KTX nila nilalabas. So it's a virtual experience. After or before the concert, merong Zoom meet and greet. Exclusive access for ticket buyers. So hindi lahat nakakanood, yung mga ticket buyers lang. So ito yung mga pinag-iba ni events industry lalo na ngayong pandemic. So for this one, please use the comment section or the chat box. Meron akong situational dito. For example, as an events manager, gusto nga i-max ni client na 500,000 yung budget. 499,000 na lang yung nagagamit sa budget nyo. Gusto pa nila mag-add ng fireworks anong sasabihin nyo? I-decline nyo ba? Or i-grant nyo yung request knowing na 1K na lang yung budget? Pag 1K na paputok, more on loses na lang yun or quitty. So let me know in the comment section para makita natin. Oo, sabi ni Jane Bakiran, talk to the clients first. This is tama. This is correct. Kailangan yung kausapin yung client na, ma'am, sir, ito na yung budget natin or ito na lang yung natitira nating pera. Gusto niyo pa po ba mag-add ng fireworks? It will cost additional money po kasi. Pag sabi ni client, oh sige, add tayo. So doon lang natin i-grant yung request. As client kasi, never ever tayo magde-decline ng request ni client. Always, tayo ang may power kasi. Kumbaga, tayo yung kinuha nila mag-manage. May power tayo na sabihan natin sila na susobra na po ang budget or may power tayo mag-remind. Pero, for example, we have an events company naman or we are working in an events company. As an events manager, may power tayo to decline. So, gets nyo ba yung pagkakaiba? Kunyari, TF ni artist nagpapadagdag. Oo, sabi pa ni Johanna, always keep on updating on expenses. Sabi pa ni, for example kasi, pwede tayong reprimand na, sobra na tayo sa events, sobra na tayo sa expenses. Hindi na pwedeng mag-request si singer ng additional TF. Always, when we have the producer, tayo yung may power. Pero kung working tayo for a client, wala tayong power. Always na may power lang tayo na mag-reprimand. So, maybe nagtataka kayo, how come events management is related to the tourism industry? So, sabi dito, events and conferences is a huge part of hospitality industry and continuing to grow. Whether it will be focused on music, sport, learning, luxury, or events around the world, it is generating billions of revenue and changing the way of businesses, hospitality organizations, and resorts operation. So ano ba yung events, careers na bagay sa events graduates? Or ano ba yung careers na bagay sa mga hospitality graduates kung papasok man sila sa events? Number 1, events manager for resorts and casinos. Number 2, you can be your own boss, which is event producer. Ikaw mismo yung magpa-finance ng sarili mong event. Or number 3, events planner. Or, ayun nga, sabi ko nga, you have the power to be your own boss. Establish your own events company. So, last trait needed as an events person or events manager, be proud of your own work. Kasi pag hindi ka proud sa work mo, hindi yan makita ng clients mo. Kasi number 1, sabi ko nga, ang produkto natin is yung experience. So last na kailangan mo dito is maging proud ka sa natrabaho mo. So that's all and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Matoog, for sharing your experiences and adventures while working in the events industry. Personally, I was motivated and inspired to continue my journey as a hospitality management student. I also hope that I'll be enjoy and be able to explore my chosen path, just like how you found your happiness in your job. So, before we proceed to our Q&A portion, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our faculty, Professor Caris Kunanan and Ma'am Tet Villar. Welcome.
And to our dear participants, you can now type your questions in the chat box. And while waiting for the questions of our participants, I would just like to share my insights in your discussion, Sir Matoog. I do agree with what you said, that one of the effective way to promote or market an event is by using social media. Especially these days that we're still in a pandemic, it is hard to reach out to a large audience. But through the use of SOCMED, it could easily help to spread a news or an event announcement, which could also help to attract more audiences, guests, or clients. You can now type in your questions, guys.
So I hope you learned something from my talk. So I'm waiting na po for your questions. So sabi ni Kyla Garcia, what are the challenges you experience, sir, in the industry? Number one kasi, challenges in the industry. Before the pandemic, number one is dapat humble ka lang. It is a challenge kasi kunyari after an event, may instance kasi na pwede nang lumaki yung ulo mo. Ganon. So I consider this as a challenge kasi you will be talking to many people. Dapat remain ka lang sa calmness mo. And dapat one of the challenges din is, yun nga, sabi ko kanina, tulog. Madalas puyat kami. Na-experience ko na, kunyari, last 2019, kwento ko lang din, may event kami sa Agusan del Sur. June 11, nasa office ako ng June 11, pagdating ng madaling araw ng June 12, flight namin pa Agusan del Sur. So, lumipad kami, nagstay lang kami doon for one day. June 13, nakabalik na kami ng Manila. Pahinga lang ako ng one day. And then June 14, lumipad naman kami pa Aklan. So, ganun yung wala akong tulog. So, nararanasan ko lang ang tulog ko sa eroplano, sa sasakyan. So, sabi pa dito, sir, paano mag-handle ng guest complaints during the events? Dapat may grievance desk kayo. Or na mag-handle. Or lalo na online, meron kayong Google Forms siguro na wherein participants can type their concerns and grievances.
Okay, as much as we like to read all your questions, we're afraid we cannot entertain all of them as we are short of time.
I hope you learned something from our first speaker, and to show our gratitude, we would like to award the Certificate of Appreciation to Mr. Caloy Matoog. Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, College of Tourism, Hospitality and Transportation Management, Department of Hospitality Management. The Certificate of Appreciation is hereby given to Carlito Christopher I. Matoog for sharing his knowledge as a resource speaker in the webinar, Eventually, Adapting the New Normal, Entering the New Realm of Events Management on the 10th day of June 2021. Signed by our course facilitator, Professor Haydin I. Calabig, signed by our Dean, Dr. Marietta D. Reyes, and signed by our Chairperson, Associate Professor Maria Cristina Q. Trinidad.
Thank you.
May we request everyone to please open your camera for the pot-up with our speaker. And may I remind everyone to please take a screenshot with our speaker as it is required in our evaluation form. And for our viewers on Facebook Live, please also take a screenshot. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Everyone, sa first window muna, smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next window. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Third window. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Fourth window. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Fifth window. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sixth. 1, 2, 3. Seventh window. 1, 2, 3. Eighth window. 1, 2, 3. Okay, last na po. Ay, meron pa pala. 1, 2, 3. Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Okay, are you still there, guys? Can you give me a heart reaction? If you're still there, guys, give me a heart reaction. Let me see those heart reaction. All right, we're still up. I hope you're having a good time listening. Before we proceed to our second speaker, we have a short break. We have a special for performance from Miss Danica Robis and Miss Jessica Belmonte. Sit back and don't forget to sing along if you know the song.
Thinking about the young years, there was only you and me. We were young and wild and free. Now nothing can take you away from me. We've been down that road before, but that's over now. You keep me coming back for more. And baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I finally hard to believe we're in heaven. Love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven. Oh, once in your life you find someone who will turn your world around, bring you up when you're feeling down. Yeah, nothing could change what you mean to me. Oh, there's nothing I can say, just hold me now, 'cause I love you like the way. And baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. And love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven. I've been waiting for so long for something to arrive, for love to come along. Now our dreams are coming through the good times and the bad. I've been standing there by you. And baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. Love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven. We're in heaven.
Okay, what a mind-blowing performance from Miss Jess and Miss Danica. I'm sure the participants enjoyed the song. I know that you're all waiting for our second speaker, and I will make you wait and longer. He started working in the events industry from 2006 up to present. He is an events manager at Bellevue Hotel and Resorts. He used to work as sales manager at SMX Convention Center, account executive at Best Western Antel Hotel, and Sales Services Officer at AIM Conference Center, Manila. Everyone, let us all welcome Mr. Rigil Kent Acapulco. Good afternoon, Mr. Rigil.
Okay,
Mr.
can you hear?
Acapulco?
Yeah,
Yes
there. Can
po.
you hear me now?
Yes po.
Sorry, medyo intermittent connection. But yeah, thank you
Okay.
for having me, guys. Can you hear me well, everybody?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So again, my name is RK, Rigil Kianto Capulco. You can call me RK para mas maikse. Alam ko nahirapan yata yung hosts kanina dun sa name ko. Pero yon, so you can call me RK. I'm an events manager for the Bellevue Hotels and Resorts, which is a locally owned company here in Manila and in Bohol. Actually, we have 4 properties, 2 in Alabang, 1 in Quezon City, and 1 in Panglao, Bohol. So the main flagship is the one in Alabang, which has the main conference center. And later on, I'll discuss. Basically, my presentation is um, about how we coped up during the pandemic, what we had to do, and what were the sacrifices that everybody had to undergo to keep our hotel afloat, and basically to make sure that the industry lives on even after this pandemic. So let's start with my first slide. Can you so yeah, there, innovation, going above and beyond the call of duty. This pandemic actually, for me, it actually coined a greater meaning for this word, because everything was basically changed when the pandemic started. Next slide, please. My role before the pandemic is an event sales manager. I handle the revenue management for events, meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions, which is para sa atin, we call it MICE. I do account handling and relationship management with current corporate partners. And of course, aside from the revenue side, we also coordinate internally with the departments to make sure that the event that we're going to have will run smoothly. Okay, when COVID-19 arrived, it basically destroyed the industry. There were no flights, no travel, no business, no gatherings. In other words, there was no revenue for not just the hotels, but basically the whole industry itself and tourism. It has been a very terrifying situation, because I remember the day before the pandemic was officially announced that it's already here. I was just going to, even went to McDonald's that evening with some of my friends. And then the next day, hindi na kami pinapasok. So it was confusing, it was scary. And I'm sure if you have hoteliers in the family, I'm sure you know or you heard similar experiences in their properties as well. Because it's basically global. It's everywhere. Next slide, please. So innovation. For us, it was to improve or replace something, to change a process or a product or service. But at the same time, you cannot just innovate na mag-innovate ka lang. You also have to do repurposing, kasi wala tayong budget. Like sinabi ni first speaker, you really have to maximize your resources. And in other words, in our case, since we can no longer use our resources the way it was intended to be used, we had to repurpose them. We have to repurpose all of them. So we have to adapt them for a different use or a different service, kasi nandyan na siya. However, hindi natin siya magamit kasi bawal ang events, bawal ang guests. So we had to think of other ways on how to utilize these resources and make them work for us. To, of course, to keep the hotel operational. Next slide, please. So the first thing we had to do was we had to drop everything and unite as a team. We pulled our heads together and we brainstormed. And for us, we had to repurpose not just the facilities itself, but we also had to repurpose ourselves. So we had to use, of course, yung current hotel assets namin, like anong pwede nating gamitin sa paggamitan sa tables natin, anong pwede nating paggamitan sa kitchen natin, anong pwede nating gawin uh, to make sure that our rooms are still used or occupied, or our patrons, pag nag-request sila, we can still acknowledge their demands. So we had to do all of that by using what we already have. Next slide, please. So we decided to think of a lot of things. So one is pop-up dining. So I'll discuss further what this is, but mainly we thought of why not using our rooms for as an extension of our outlets. So syempre, yung mga guest rooms, we want our diners, we want to make sure that they're safe. They want to make sure that they're safe while they're dining, while at the same time enjoying the meals that they miss from our outlets. So we decided we had guest rooms for that. So we thought of ways on how we can accomplish that. And later you'll see what we have done. Second slide, please. There is di ba lahat tayo we are working from home, ika nga, di ba? So we had to think of ways on how to how to market our services to those who are in need of a space. Kasi like at home, if you may know, minsan active nakiki-webinar ang mga manok, nakiki-webinar yung mga aso, or you don't have an actual workspace at home. So we thought, why not offer that to those who are in need of quiet space, to make sure that they can do webinars, Zooms, nang maganda yung background, di na kailangan ng virtual. Like me ngayon, naka-virtual ako kasi I'm at home. So yung mga ganon. And then of course, we thought of what is a similarity of our of the hospitality establishments with other industries that are in need of extra space. So we thought, okay, we actually, all hotels basically look like a hospital, especially mga high end like Asian Hospital. So we thought of, why not let's enter a partnership with a possible hospital that can actually utilize our guest rooms as an extension of their kumbaga patient care. So that's where we thought of this idea, and we started to looking for possibilities of how we can help those guests who require medical attention pero who are afraid to go to the hospitals kasi syempre of the COVID pandemic, baka mahawa sila, so they want to have a space na they can get themselves checked, or they can use parang a partnership with the hospital na may ang accommodation is a hotel for their specific medical needs and stuff like that. So yun yung first concept namin when we were thinking about hospitality partnership, pero hotel partnership. Pero it kind of developed along the way because at this situation, or at this day and time, nothing is final. Everything changes by the day, guys. So yeah, and always expect that everything changes by the day, by the day, like yung mga mandates ng government and everything else. Next slide, please. Thank you. And of course, hybrid events. Na-discuss yun ng first speaker kanina. With my presentation, mainly the hybrid events from our end is mainly relies on our creativity on how to execute an event right now, or how to cater to our actual event patrons, like yung mga usual clients namin for meetings, usual clients namin for social events. So of course, hindi pa pwede mag-event sa mag-venue. So we had to make sure na we are still part of their life events, kasi for example, like mga ika nga suke na ng families where they hold all the events in our hotels, or yung mga corporate clients namin who holds their meetings or conventions in our hotels. We decided to do something about it. Kumbaga, we decided to be visible, we still be visible in their lives by not actually having them inside the hotel. Next slide, please. So what are the actions that we had to do, guys? I know even sa school, everybody, like the teachers, kayong mga students, you all had to repurpose and transform your roles, di ba? Ika nga, before, sanay tayo na pagpasok, pag may pasok, gigising, mag-toothbrush, mag-prepare, babiyahe papuntang school, go ngayon iba, it's you wake up, you turn on your laptop, you log in, you do your reviews or your studies online. So marami na bago, and even your teachers have their role transformations, like before they teach live, but now they had to learn how to be digital. It's hard work. This pandemic has affected all of us, so in our end we had to transform um our actual job responsibilities. Kasi me, ako, I'm an events manager. Pero everybody, all hands on deck dapat. Kasi at that time, we've been losing people. We have seen retrenchments. We have lost colleagues that are so good. So parang ang nangyari, parang you had to cover for even for their previous jobs. Kasi kailangan to keep the hotel afloat or to keep this industry running. So we had again to drop everything, repurpose ourselves, learn, unlearn, and relearn a lot of things along the way to make sure that tung new frontier, tung new normal, ikaya natin i-conquer. So we had three things that we needed to do. Role transformation, of course, that's number one. Then two, teamwork, because the teamwork makes the dream work. Ika nga nila. So kumbaga, no man is an island. You can't do everything alone. You have to have a team that will back you up, even digitally. Even kumbaga magkahiwalay kayo, like nasa hotel siya, ikaw nasa bahay, you really need to work together. And of course, research, especially now that the mandates are changing. Every month, every time, pwede ang 15 packs, pwede ang 10 packs, pwede ang events, hindi pwede ang events. Sa area na to, pwede ang events, sa iba, pwede ang staycation. So you had to be on top of your research. You have to be on top of your information all the time. Kasi if not, mapag-iiwanan ka, or baka may mali kaming magawa and mapinalize yung hotel namin, or we might cause something else. Like, syempre, may reasons yung mga mandates na yan why it's being set. So if we don't follow that, baka may magawa kami that might cause an outbreak or something like that. So it was really hard. We had to be very, very careful. We had to be very, very cautious all the time. Next slide, please. So ito na. For our pop-up dining, this is, sorry, may animation, just keep on going para mag-load yung mga, yeah, there. So we had 4 properties, as I mentioned. So this is what we had in mind. So for private dining, number 1 kasi na hinahanap ng, before, when you look into a restaurant or a hotel, you think of, ano yung food, masarap ba? I like the ambience, the luxury. But now, another factor, what we addressed here by releasing this service is safety. Safety is a new amenity. It's an additional amenity, especially now. So, always, katulad nung first speaker earlier, they have a safety officer. So, in the hotels, we also have that. And we have to make sure that all our facilities are thoroughly cleaned, disinfected. It has to be safe from contamination or for, kumbaga, yun ang isa sa mga sinisell namin here. So by extending our outlet menu and setting up restaurants inside our guest rooms, we were able to address the needs of our clientele na gustong mag-dine out kasi at this point, it's been months na nakastuck na sila sa bahay. So they wanted to go out and have an amazing day with their loved ones. So we address that by making sure that they can eat and dine in our hotels without thinking about anything. We wanted them to have a worry-free experience. We wanted them to have a safe environment where they can enjoy and unmask and enjoy their meal together with their loved ones. But of course, by also following the mandates. So kapag pwede siya, naka-release siya. Pag hindi pwede, for nag-ECQ bigla, then we pull it back and suspend muna the service. But once it's active again, we release it again. Sobrang ano. But again, that this actually helped a lot of our F&B people. Kasi syempre yung iba, nagkaroon na, naging floating, but because of the requirement that arrived from releasing this program, we were able to bring some people back. So for us, that's an opportunity that we will forever be grateful for. Nakapag-provide kami even the pandemic dun sa mga staff namin ng kabuhayan. Kahit, alam mo yun, pasandali-sandali, but at least it's something that we're able to give to them. Next slide, please. So for the private dining, what we did is we had to convert the guest rooms into private dining facilities for a limited number of guests allowed by IATF guidelines. We also had to reimagine the in-room dining experience. So before, pa nasa hotel ka, mag-order ka ng food, they'll bring it in. Now, pa nag-order ka, your main purpose of checking in is to order the food to eat. So we had to set it up in a restaurant, set it up similar to our restaurants or outlets para ma-experience or ma-re-experience ng guest namin yung dining in our outlets. Guest room rates converted into consumable food and beverage credits. So hindi lang sila nagbayad para sa guest room before. Ngayon, nagbayad sila pero they can consume it with meals. Then we had to focus budget for staffing to expand in-room dining team. And then, of course, it functioned as a small-scale extension of our main dining outlets. Next slide, please. And of course, due to the increasing number of ROFs are returning overseas Filipinos. Can you push the arrow further para lumabas lahat yan? There. Yung kanina yung hotel to hospital, instead of partnering exactly with or extending our rooms to our guests, what we did is we partnered with Asian Hospital and Medical Center and offered rates na one-stop shop for our returning overseas Filipinos. Kumbaga, pag umuwi sila, they just book with us and then we take care of their RT-PCR tests, of their transports, and all that they need. And then after that, once they arrive to the Philippines, nung time na to, wala pa kasing swabbing sa airport. So we offer that, and then yun, may mga takers, they had their swab tests done right after they arrive, and then they get transported to the hotel na. Tapos, the results, since we partnered with Asian Medical Center, the results was released quickly as compared dun sa government facilitated na swab test kasi alam nilang nakabillet to and waiting for the results, and we only had like 3 nights to 2 to 3 nights for us to release the RT-PCR para the guests can go home to their families. Next slide, please. And then yeah, di ba may work from home, so abbreviated as WFH. So in our end, we decided to make Be at Work, which is a work from hotel package that our sales team offered to our clients that had work from home options. Kasi may mga clients kami na had their team working at home. So yung iba nga, like I said, hindi capable or suitable for a work from home environment yung bahay. So we offered the hotel rooms to be their sub-office, to be their incubation offices. So this project provided a safe office space away from the distractions of doing work at home, while at the same time enjoying the comfort of a bedroom. So very comfortable, may CR siya, the person has a bed that they can relax on, and then also it enabled conversion of one of our floors. If you next to the next slide, because of this project, may taker kami, this Camiseta Skin Clinic in Quezon City decided to book the whole floor to convert as their clinics kasi yung clinic nila, maraming people who are afraid to go there kasi parang it's in the hospital or near a hospital. So what they did is they repurposed some of our one of our floors into their private clinical facility. So because of the project na nirelease namin, which is work from hotel, nagkaroon ng idea yung clients namin when they inquired na maybe we can rent some of your guest rooms and convert it into our clinic. So we agreed. So in that end, nagkaroon ng revenue or nagkaroon ng chance to utilize yung hotel assets namin into another spectrum. Ika nga, nagamit namin siya uh, to yung meron kami to create more revenue for the hotel without using it as an actual guest room. So that's one important innovation that we accomplished during this pandemic. Next slide, please. And then, of course, B2Go, which is Bellevue to go or B Hotel to go, because we have Bellevue, Manila, Bellevue Hotel Twin Resorts, B Hotel Quezon City, and B Hotel Alabang. So we had to use the letter B to make this package. So again, we cannot bring our clients to the venue. So to enjoy, and not just that, our clients kasi hold their events with us because of the food that we serve. Especially that ensaymada, because that's one of our I hope you guys get to try it on any Bellevue facility or hotel near you. It's also in Grab Food if you want to order. Pero yan yung mga sikat sa amin. So that's the reason why a lot of our guests go back to us, because of the quality of the food that we prepare. So instead of bringing them to the venue, we decided to bring the event to them. So we devised B2Go, which is a packed meals for meetings and gatherings. So for 10 people, and so for their boardroom meetings, we go there before they hold their board meetings with us. But now, since they hold their board meetings internally, we brought Bellevue to them. So in this case naman, B2Go, that's events at your doorstep. These are for our patrons, yung mga nag-hold ng debut, birthday parties, or any basic gatherings with us. We decided to bring our event platters or event food to their space. So, ayan, like yung mga platters namin, yung mga bestsellers namin, we made it into take-out platters instead of like yung parang pang-catering. And then we deliver it to their homes. We drop it off. We make sure that the food is safe and hygienic. It's prepared by our amazing kitchen team. And of course, the package includes, we included safety precautionary additions to our packages. So for example, for B2Go, we provide alcohols that are, that's called Clean Code, which is our official clean statement. So we provided them with their alcohols, mga face masks for everyone. So now kasama na yun sa amenity, because like I said, now in the industry, safety is another amenity, and probably the most important amenity when somebody chooses your hotel or your venue as their as their main choice. So you have to make sure that safety is always important in all of your packages, all of your services. And with B2Go, kahit na kami nagde-deliver papunta sa kanila, we still have to think of our guest safety. Next step. Next slide, please. Yan. So again, bringing the event to the guest. Hotel experience inside the boardroom. That's very important for us, so para ma-feel nila na they're holding the event with us. Become part of our patrons' life events at home. So we became a one-stop shop for our guests na may event ako, can deliver food to our home. We make sure that we do that with care and with safety. And then of course, promote safety by including masks and hand sanitizers on all our packages. Next slide, please. And of course, we had our venue. Again, sinabi rin ni first speaker kanina, there's MGCQ areas, ECQ areas. In Panglao kasi, they're MGCQ. So they're allowed to hold intimate gatherings or events. So we had to make hybrid events like these, like weddings wherein the couple can have a limited number of guests inside the hotel while the others are on Zoom. Pero syempre, to make sure that they feel the presence of their online guests, we offered services like flashing the guests on the screen para at least ma-feel din ng people on site yung presence ng mga guests na hindi naka-attend. Next slide, please. Yeah, some of the pictures of our intimate gathering in the hotel, which is the Bellevue Resort in Panglao. And then vertical events. We are happy to be chosen as the venue for 2020's Philippine Travel Expo. So this is normally, if you're from, alam ko nag-attend kayo ng mga expo and mga events like these, like MICECon. So FITEX is the partner of MICECon, and is TPB and DOT sponsored. So normally this is usually held at PACC, SMX Convention Center. But because of our unique setup at the Bellevue Resort, uh, we were chosen to be this year's venue for Philippine Travel Exchange. Makikita niyo later kung ano yung naging inspiration namin on why we realized na we had this kind of resource na we can utilize and be creative with. We'll show that in the last segment of my presentation. Ito yung mga, like in this reality now, in our reality now, you have to be resourceful and creative, and again you had to use your hotel resources. So with FITEX, we realized that we have something unique. So we were able to hold a hybrid event wherein the DOT and the delegates from the different hospitality industries, different travel agencies can be on site while catering to our international buyers in order to sell Philippines to the global market. So next slide, please, for more pictures of what happened during the event. So of course, safety. We had to make sure that safety is the number one thing that we should be focusing on. So all delegates, all attendees has undergone uh, RT-PCR tests, continuous heat testing, and then at the same time, meron ding swab test done prior any event or prior any gathering inside the hotel to make sure that everyone is safe and everyone is on PPE. So all of our staff, all of the DOT staff, the TPP staff are all wearing full PPE during this event. Next slide, please. And this is the setup that they did. Thank you to the LGU of Bohol. We coordinated with them and made sure that we had this kind of setup inside the hotel. So before wala to, hindi naman natin to ginagawa. So but now it's a necessity. So again, safety is the newest amenity. So we had to use that and make sure that we can easily provide that to our guests. And then of course, to be honest, these are not photos na na hindi real. These are real people who is working in the industry. These are all hoteliers who attended the event. We just asked them to send us a picture so that we could gather it for the materials for our presentations. Pero these are actually, so inside the hotel, they were inside the hotel celebrating or participating in the physical event, but they are also online selling Philippines to the global market. So we also had the Zoom set up by FITEX and TPB, wherein our hoteliers, our travel agents can actually sell their services outside of the country. And inside the hotel, of course, this is Secretary Bernadette Romulo, who attended the event, who spearheaded the event actually, was there. Meron silang area wherein they can address all the attendees while they were at the vertical setup. So you'll see the inspiration for the vertical setup. Nakikita nyo dun sa first picture ko ng vertical setup, may mga tao dun sa mga labas ng balcony ng guest rooms nila. So that's where they were viewing the event that was happening in the middle of the hotel. So safe, it's creative, it's face to face, pero at the same time, we have a digital and technical aspect. So it covered a lot of brands, and it was probably the first in the Philippines. And we are probably Philippines is one of the first people who mounted this kind of event because of that specific setup that we had in our hotel in Bohol. Next slide, please. And this is the inspiration. Actually, this was during the beginning stages of our ECQ when we had this. There's no audio, but that's a band playing, and the people at the back were all looking towards the center of the venue of the hotel. So this is what inspired the vertical events experience that we decided to push for our property in Bohol. Kasi people can actually view what's happening while at the same time maintaining a safe distance from each other. So this happened during before when our hotel facility during ECQ was a quarantine facility. So we had to entertain our guests who were quarantining, and they were happy and excited. You can see this on our Facebook page, the live video of this ng the Bellevue Resort. They were shouting, screaming, and they enjoyed the experience. So this actually paved the way uh, for a new breed of events that we are able to cater. And because of this, aside from the FETEX, we were able to generate other events with the vertical event setup. Next slide, please. Yeah, our New Year countdown, we did that on a vertical setup, and you also did that on a streaming platform. Before, New Year countdowns are done separately by each hotel. So we had 4 countdowns ongoing, but this time we did it all together. Yun yung benefit ng entering this digital era, is that yung digital real estate or yung virtual real estate is very important. So now we were able to celebrate New Year together with our guests at home. So yung mga patrons namin, we just invited them and they all logged in and joined the New Year countdown with us. And then of course, the first vertical concert in the Philippines, which is called Hinighuni, which is a collaboration of TPB, DOT, and Bohol. It's also online. You can check that. I can check that on Facebook. We have a link on our Facebook page of the vertical concert that we did at the Bellevue Resort. So we were able to broadcast it live while at the same time having people at the hotel watching the venue, enjoying the balconies of their hotel rooms as their main viewing deck for the event. Next slide, please. And so, guys, the pandemic was really hard for all of us. So, we made this. I made some of the parts of this presentation with one thing in mind, which is our hearts go to all the hoteliers who have dedicated most of their lives in service to all their guests. This pandemic literally stopped us from providing our usual services, hence the obliteration of our usual jobs. But with the heart of a soldier, we repurposed the brand and its services not to just give back to the company that has become our home, but also to provide more services that will generate the need for manpower, to give hope, a means to fight back, and a heart that never gives up. So guys, I know you might be thinking that the hospitality industry is in danger and you guys are all about to enter palang this industry. So you're worried na you might not have an industry to enter. But yun yung ginagawa namin right now. What we are doing now is to make sure that once it's your turn to lead the industry, you have either you still have an industry or you even have a better one to be excited to get into once this pandemic ends. So basically that ends my presentation, and I really hope that I see all of you join the industry soon. Make sure that our industry lives on. The Philippine travel and hospitality industry lives on because we are one of the best tourism and hospitality people in the world. And I firmly believe that, being here in the industry for this long, and we really hope that we get to we accomplish everything. The whole industry can accomplish everything that they're doing now to make sure that all of you would have a better industry to get into in the future. Maraming salamat po, and I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation. And again, I really look forward to seeing you all, and please stay safe and keep on being creative.
Thank you so much, Mr. Acapulco. That was a very informative discussion. And now let's proceed to our Q&A portion. If you have questions and concerns regarding the discussion of our second speaker, please feel free to type your message in the chat box. And may I again remind everyone to please mute your microphone. Thank you.
So while
Yeah.
waiting for their questions, let me share my takeaways in this discussion. If you haven't thought about event planning life post-pandemic, we should prepare for a new wave of precautionary measures that will become the new norm for the events, check-in temperatures, having a staff member dedicated to monitoring health measures, reduce line, etc. The truth is, like what Mr. Acapulco says, that no one is going to tell us when is the ideal time to begin reopening events. Just because the government relaxes social distancing requirements doesn't mean the risk is limited. For the future, there is an inherent risk with any in-person event. However, the more safety measures you implement, the lower the risk is.
Okay, so
Guys, if you have
so a
questions.
question, yeah, yeah. What can you from Anya Abelio? What can you advise to us to the future to us in the future of hospitality industry? Um, what I advise is for you to look forward to it because everything that we're doing now is for you guys to make sure that you enter a better industry after the pandemic, and by that time, I guess the new normal enters. May mga bago na tayong offer or may mga bago na tayong practices na makakasanayan na ng lahat, and that's gonna be exciting for everyone. Pero ang advice ko for you personally as students is to keep on thinking outside the box. Keep on innovating. Keep on being creative. Keep on following your instincts and making sure that everything that you do uh, is for the betterment or innovation of a certain project. And my message, I am so overwhelmed with the innovation of vertical events in the hotel industry. It really challenges the hoteliers to think outside the box. Yes, that's true. There's a challenge also to our students to be creative and innovative. But question, what is the process of the management in coping up with this pandemic? Process of management. Okay, there's a sad part and a good and a happy part. The sad part is that, of course, when the pandemic hit, we had to lose people. Um, Hindi kasi kaya. That's the reality of things. Budgets were cut and the hotel had to survive, and so we had to let go of people. The happy side about it is that um, those who were left, uh, we were able to not we never sat on our laurels. Kumbaga, we just literally stood up, uh, brainstormed, and reached new heights with our capacity. We never thought of things that we were able to do before. So yun yung good side. And ang first na ginawa ni management is reorganize everything and repurpose everyone so that mabago and mapunuan yung mga roles na hindi na wala nang gumagawa. So everybody had to learn, everybody had to unlearn, and everybody had to relearn a lot of things. So that's what the first thing management had to do. Hello, sir. Do you have any advices for us that we need to prepare in entering the tourism and hospitality industry? Oh, okay. Of course, to be safe always. Kailangan yan. Kailangan makagraduate kayo lahat ng healthy. And then second, advice. You just need to learn as much as you can here in school. Education is very important, and what your teachers, what the schools now are teaching you are very key elements in your entering in the industry. So always keep them to heart, always learn as much as you can, but also try to learn as much from experience as well, and be ready for experience learning, because there are some things naman na you will learn um, while you're in the industry already. So you have to be ready for anything. You have to be prepared, and of course you have to be strong always. And of course, when you're dealing with a lot of guests, katulad yung sinabi kanina, may mga complaints, diba? And stuff. That's never gonna go away. That's part of the industry. So you also have to practice a lot of patience. So guys, being creative, patience, and of course, strength is what you guys need when once you enter this industry. Hey sir, how are you able to attain where you are right now? Oh, it's a long journey, pero I guess for me it was short because I was loving what I was doing. Pero it was I started from the bottom. I started as a front desk officer. I started as a receptionist, and then uh, I went through the grapevine. I learned once you're inside the hotel, guys. Once you're in the industry, always grab the opportunity for training and learn outside your department, so that whenever there's another opportunity na you like to target, ready ka kasi you also already have training for that. Tsaka courage. Kung may makita kang opportunity, grab it. And then at the same, when you grab it, make sure na you're ready to learn and to give your best to any role that is given to you. How do you handle the flexibility nowadays? Lalo na po marami po natanggal. So you have to do their job description. Yes, like me now, I'm actually I was the events manager when I made the presentation, but now I am part of marketing communications. So I do sales, but at the same time I also do marketing communications for digital and for PR, press release and media relations for the company. So before hindi ako yon, but because of the lack of manpower, I had to learn a lot of things on that side kasi sales and events talaga ako. But I had to learn para mapunuan yung job responsibility na yun. So you really need to learn, relearn, and unlearn, guys. 3 things: learn, relearn, and unlearn. Laging ganon every time when you encounter a new challenge in your life. Hi sir, last question na po yan. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much guys, and I hope you guys learned as much from my presentation. And again, thank you to the PUP management and of course the organizers of the event. Congratulations for the great turnout. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir RK, for interacting with our participants, and thank you for your well discussion. Thank you very much.
So before we proceed to the giving of the certificate, Mr. Acapulco wanted to share this unsung theme song of the events industry during the pandemic.
After a season of nightfalls and pushbacks, after the heartache of wrong turns and sidetracks, just when they think they got you game, set, match, oh, 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 here comes a comeback. Just cause you laid low, got up slow, unsteady, don't mean you blacked out or bowed out, you're ready. Just when they think there's nothing left, running on empty, oh, 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 here comes a comeback. This is your time, your moment. The fight, you're golden. You've come so far, keep going. Oh, here comes a comeback. You feel the lightning, the thunder, your soul shakes under the roar of the heaven, the tide breaks, and from the ashes you will take your place. Oh, 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 here comes a comeback. This is your time, your moment. The fight, you're golden. You've come so far, keep going. Oh, here comes a comeback. There is no mountain you can't face. There is no giant you can't take. All of your tears were not a waste. You're one step away. Just when they think they got you game, set, match. Oh, 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 here comes a comeback. This is your time, your moment. The fight, you're golden. You've come so far, keep on going. Oh, here comes a comeback. Your comeback, your comeback.
Grabe yung mga knowledge na nakukuha natin for today. Are you still there, guys? So, we learned from our first speaker that communication skill is one of the vital key to be an events manager. And now, Mr. Acapulco shares that repurposing events management is the ideal way to adopt the new norm during this trying time. So, I hope you're taking notes regarding the advices that our speaker discussed. And to show our gratitude, we would like to award the Certificate of Appreciation, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, College of Tourism, Hospitality and Transportation Management, Department of Hospitality Management. This certificate of appreciation is hereby given to Rigil Kent Acapulco for sharing his knowledge as a resource speaker in the webinar, eventually adopting the new normal, entering the new realm of events management on the 10th day of June 2021, signed by our course facilitator, Professor Hayden I. Calabig, signed by our chairperson, Associate Professor Maria Cristina Q. Trinidad, signed by our beloved Dean, Dr. Marietta D. Reyes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
May we request everyone to please open your camera for the photo op with our second speaker. And may I remind again everyone to please take a screenshot with our speaker as it is required in our evaluation form. As for the viewers on Facebook Live, please also take a screenshot. Thank you.
Alright. First window muna tayo. Okay, smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Third window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Fourth window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Fifth window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Sixth window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Seventh window. Smile po. Eighth window. Smile. Okay, last na po. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you po.
Maraming salamat, guys. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before we proceed to our last speaker, we will be playing another game. Let's play jumbled letters. If you wish to join in the game, please do type the answer in the chat box. And don't worry, everyone, because we also prepared some clues and hints for you to easily identify the word. Wow, that was fast. We already have a winner. From PUP Manila, Ms. Esquivel Gladys May, congratulations. She answered exhibit.
Okay, I think we already have a winner from what? Janine, can you read our winner? I can't see the name.
You guys are so fast. Okay. Okay, I already found it.
I think it's from PUP Manila, Mr. Joshua Luis Maanyo. Congratulations.
This is our last jumbled letters. We already have a winner. Again, from PUP Manila, Mr. Kim Acordon. He answered launching event. Congratulations, Mr. Acordon.
Congratulations to all the winners. Please wait for our finance head, Miss Selena Ejito, to message you so you can claim your prize.
And we're down to our last but not the least speaker. Joining us today as an event coordinator, an event stylist, and a host. He's also a proprietor of remarkable events. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Mr. Mark David Jaime. Let us give him a virtual round of applause. Good afternoon, sir.
A supercalifragilisticexpialidocious afternoon to all. I'm sure you're still with us. My respect and commendation to all of those who in one way or another helped to make this webinar possible. Special thanks to Ma'am Angelica Barizo for inviting me to share my humble background in event planning. Okay. May I be allowed to share my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay po. All right. So again, I'm Mr. Mark David M. Jaime. I'm the proprietor of I'm the proprietor of Remarkable Events. But technically, we just started as a small flower shop in Mexico, Pampanga. Then eventually, um, I can say that event planning is already innate to me because I am a teacher by profession. Although I'm already in the admin now, uh, organizing school activities, organizing church activities as well because I'm also a church youth leader. So I can say that event planning is already innate with me since I was younger. No? Okay, but again, going back to my humble beginning, um, I started as a floral artist. I was a florist. I was a stylist in events. Then eventually, being an event planner was a force of nature. It was a call of duty as well because there are several clients who look for one-stop shop wherein they can have all the suppliers in one shop. So eventually, our market became bigger, and we had tie-ups with several suppliers who specialize in debuts and weddings. No, so we now talk about the new normal in the events industry. How did we cope? How do we cope with this pandemic? Because when we read this statement, let me quote, no? Political gatherings, cultural festivities, sporting events, product launches, and social events like birthdays, weddings, Christmas and office parties, pageants, award events, and gala reception shows are not allowed. End of quote. But when we read this, um what do you call this, when we read this in several articles in the newspaper, we really felt sad at first. That is the initial reaction. We were all shocked, no? But then hindi pa pala yon, meron pang ano, mas marami pala yung tinatawag nating ano, aftershocks. Ano yung mga aftershocks na yon? Marami sa aming mga suppliers ang hindi kinaya yung problema na dala ng pandemic. First, we have financial constraints. And ang dami naming refund sa aming mga events. Imagine, there were about 10 to 12 events which were canceled. Okay lang sana kung magpo-postpone kasi kung nag-postpone, meron pang chance na matuloy yung wedding and there are no refunds. Pero we experienced this chaotic situation in which kailangan mag-refund ng mga client kasi hindi talaga posible yung mag-conduct ng mga events, no? And then na-experience namin yung may mga may mga staff kami, for example, mga coordinators na lalapit kasi nga walang trabaho, they lost their job because of the pandemic. Lalapit sa iyo as the event as the head coordinator, wala na silang pambili ng bigas, wala na silang pambayad ng kuryente. Kaya nga isa sa mga naging realization ko in life, um, of course, this is a stable work, but because of the situation, we are limited, no? Kaya aside from this, meron kaming fallback. Kaya hindi ko pinagsisihan yung decision ko na hindi iwanan yung field of teaching because I had fallback, no? When the event industry experienced this chaotic situation. All right. Um, Isa pa 'to, kailan lang 'no, ngayon halos halos nanunumbalik na yung sigla ng industry kasi pinapayagan na yung around 50% na capacity sa mga venues 'no. Pero when I read this article last June 7, kailan lang 'to, ipinagbabawal na naman daw 'no, yung mga party, mga gatherings. Although walang specification 'no. As of now, meron pa rin kaming mga line-up and hopefully wala ng cancellation. Kasi again, that will mean another tragic experience for our staff, for our suppliers, kasi mawawalan na naman sila ng income. Lalo na yung mga suppliers namin na ito lang talaga yung bread and butter nila, no? And I just do hope that the government also considers us, no? Isa kasi yung industry na ito sa mga hindi talaga nabigyan ng ayuda, no? Yung mga suppliers sa industry nito, yung hindi nabigyan talaga ng ayuda during this pandemic. Kung meron man nakakuha, thank God, let's thank the government. Pero a majority of the suppliers in the event industry, no, hindi masyado nakakuha ng ayuda from the government, and that is very sad. Okay, because of this, again, we were limited. Because of this IATF protocol, we were limited. Let me give you an idea. Ang pagpipresyo natin sa isang event ay depende sa number of packs. So kung halimbawa, intimate weddings lang ang ating i-organize, bababa rin ang ating package. Kasi every domino effect yan, ripple effect yan. So kapag bumaba yung packs, bababa rin yung rate ng package. So before we were earning around, sige hindi na ako masasabi ng price, we were earning around 6 to 7 digits. But because of this intimate weddings na minsan maximum na yung 100 packs, bumaba siya into 4 to 5 digits na lang. So ang laki talaga ng nalugi namin because of the pandemic. Now, how do we cope with this? Sabi ko nga, ang term ko nga is chaotic, tragic, no? Sa part natin. But how do we cope with this? Ayan, yung ibang mga highly caliber na supplier dito sa Pampanga, ang ginawa para may maibuhay sa mga staff nila, no, ay nagkaroon ng ganito, yung tinatawag na rolling store. Imagine, para lang may pasweldo, no, kailangan namin gumawa ng paraan, ibang way para may maipakain sa pamilya ng mga nagtatrabaho para sa amin, no? Um, Kapag kayo ng event planner, siguro hindi pa ganun katindi yung impact sa inyo, no? Pero for me, being an event planner is an instrument of God's blessing. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kasi magkaroon lang ako ng isang event. Imagine, ilan yung tao, ilan yung suppliers na mabibigyan ko ng trabaho. Sa catering, ilan na sila. Di ba? Yung videographer, yung photographer, yung designer. Di ba? Sa styling, I have 10 to 20 staff. No, ang dami na nila. So imagine, isang event lang, ang dami-dami ng makikinabang, no? So again, for me, being an event planner is also an instrument of God's blessing to others. Ayan, and we also had this responsibility sa mga staff namin. Remember, in this time of trial, doon kayo mas mamahali ng mga magtatrabaho para sa inyo. Yung hindi nyo sila kakalimutan, no? During this time of trial. You know what? Na-experience ko pa yung kailangan ko mag-drive. Mag-drive sa mga sa mga bahay-bahay ng aking mga staff para lang maghatid ng bigas, konting groceries, no? Imagine. So I had this responsibility sa kanila. And you know what? Ngayon na nabubuhay na ng paunti-unti ulit ng event industry, they loved me more. What do I mean by that? They pay in terms of loyalty kahit na may ibang supplier ning kumukuha sa kanila, but because you know your manpower is really the treasure of your of a certain team or company, no, kaya you treasure your manpower. There are even events na nagsasabay-sabay. We actually style at least 2 to 3 events in a day. So imagine kung wala akong manpower na talagang maaasahan, no, that will be the downfall of remarkable events, no. So again, you invest on your manpower, and eventually you will reap kung ano yung itatanim nyo, no. Alright, yung iba naman nag-online selling, yung mga tinitingala kong ano, mga designer, mga event planner dito sa Pampanga. Eventually nakita ko nagtitinda ng tocino, mga meat products, no? I thank God because I have this alternative work. I have this stable work. Kahit wala akong event, mabubuhay yung pamilya namin, no? Because I am an admin in a certain school. But the point is, kumusta naman yung iba na ito lang yung kinabubuhay, no? So, kahit na medyo hindi ko ba alam, hindi ito kabawasan sa pagkatao nila, no? Kasi ito ay marangal na trabaho. Pero yung nakita ko how they struggle, kung paano yung struggle nila from being a reputable supplier to being a seller. Parang alam niyo yun, naramdaman ko kahit hindi ako yung naki-experience nun, I really felt the pain. No, kahit hindi sila nagsasabi, I know it was very difficult for them. Now, sabi nga ni Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest species that survived nor the most intelligent, but the most responsive to change. Now, how do we adapt to change? Alam niyo ba, um, ito siguro yung pinakamagandang way para mabuhay during this times of pandemic. We are already living in a virtual world. No? Virtual world. Kaya nga nagki-click ang online selling, 'di ba? Lahat sa Lazada, lahat sa Shopee, and therefore, no, therefore it can be also applied to us, no, as event planners. Ano-ano yung mga innovation, no, using the virtual world. Imagine even we also organize biology sa mga burol. Ayan. So ito hindi na rin pwedeng face to face, no? Meron tayong virtual lamay, di ba? So everything can be done online, okay? Live streaming. Okay? Pero dito syempre as an event planner, you should have the outline, no? Although kapag sinabi nating live streaming, meron din tinatawag na tape as live. So pwedeng pre-recorded, no? Um you can organize these kinds of events, no? Live podcast. Ayan. Although more on audio ito, sa radio, no? Dito dahil live podcast siya, kahit na wala kayong script, no? Dapat meron pa ring outline, something like that, no? So pwede rin gawin 'yan. Ano pa yung mga pwedeng i-organize? Music performances. Yung mga narinig ko kanina sa mga previous speakers natin, mga music performance, mga concerts, no? Ayan. Contest. No? You can also conduct online contest. Ayan. Even yung online Zumba. Ayan. Tininig na napaka-ano ng name, Zoom. Using the online collaborating tool Zoom. Ayan. Pwede mag-online Zumba. Online meditation. Ayan. Pwede bang ano yan, isama sa mga events? Yes. No? Even conducting online reviews and commentaries. Ayan. Kumikita yan. No? And then conducting online lectures, classes, and tutorials. Now, actually halos lahat nabanggit na nila, no. Although siguro among all the speakers that you had, medyo emotional talaga ako, no. Kasi I really felt this pain, no, after biglang nag-down ng industry. Napakasigla ng industry natin, no. And then after just reading these prohibitions from the IATF and the DOT, biglang nag-collapse ang lahat para sa atin. Now, paano nga ba maging highly effective event planner? Actually, narinig ko na halos kanina, no? Magdadagdag na lang ako ng mga inputs ko and personal experience. Good people skills. As an event planner, you will be dealing with different walks of life, different kinds of people, no. You will meet the kindest, the most benevolent suppliers, and even the most toxic supplier. Ayan, kaya you should have good people skills kahit na tawag dito, you deal with different walks of life, nandun pa rin yung you know how to manage yourself, you know how to deal with these people, no. If you don't have good social skills, I think you should think again kung tama yung napasukan mong career, no? Kasi isa ito sa pinakahinahanap ng mga client, no? Yung marunong ka makibagay, no? Sa mga tao. Just with the clients, even with the suppliers. You know what? If you have good people skills, you have good attitude. Sabi nga nila, it's easy to go there. Ang daling pumunta sa top eh. But you know what? It's more difficult to stay there. Ang dami ko nakitang supplier na ang bilis pumunta sa taas, pero because of negative attitude, ang dali rin nilang bumagsak. No? It's really easy to go there, but it's difficult. It's more difficult to stay there. Remember that. So good attitude, good people skills, ayan, kinakailangan yan. These are integral part of event planning. Flexible in work duties. Ayan. You know what? Dati, when I was beginning, when I was a novice in the profession, in the field, akala ko okay yung maging one-man band. Okay, ako okay yung maging one-man band. Kasi dati kapag alam kong hindi kaya ng iba, sinosolo ko yung trabaho. That was when I was a novice. Pero I discovered that as time passed by, I discovered that mas maganda kung marami yung mas nakakaalam ng trabaho. Kagaya na banggit ko kanina, I mentioned earlier, we have 3 events in a day. So because of that, nagagawa ko ng paraan yung manpower. Pero as the event planner, you should be flexible in work duties. Kapag wala yung isa sa station niya, dapat ikaw alam mo kung paano yung duty niya. Well-rounded ka dapat sa trabaho. No? Alam mo ang pasikot-sikot ng event. There was a time meron kaming wedding, yung isa naming coordinator, bago siya no sa coordination. And then hindi niya alam kung saan siya magpo-post, although we had all the orientation, we had all the practice, the dry run, eh. Pero during the event, iba kasi pag live eh, no? Bigla wala siya sa post niya. And as an event planner, you should know what to do. Okay? So kaya nga sinasabi ko lagi sa grupo namin, sa team namin, we are a team. We work as a team, no? Sabi ko, kapag wala ang isa, dapat alam ng isa kung saan siya pupunta, at alam ng isa kung paano siya mag-augment. At hindi ako pwedeng pagmalakihan ng aking mga supplier or mga staff, no? Kasi alam nila na hindi ako nagdedepende sa kanila. I know their work. Kaya ako 'to pinasok. I'm very knowledgeable. I have a very broad background about this work. Kaya hindi nila ako mapagmamalakihan, no? Pero that's not the point. Ang point dito, no, dapat flexible ka, no? Again, napaka-importante that you know how to distribute the work. Pero if things fail, kapag merong part ng grupo na hindi nagagawa ng mabuting trabaho niya, you should know how to support, how to provide technical assistance, no? And then the other one is good listening skills. Ito natutunan ko to kay Ma'am Charo Santos of ABS-CBN. One time nag-attend ako sa mga talk niya. Sabi niya, you should always pay attention to details. Sabi niya, small details matter. Ayan. Kaya kapag si client kausap ko, lalo na kapag toxic yung bride, I really pay extra attention to details. Kasi alam ko, eventually kapag nagkaroon ng problema, alam ko kung paano magba-backup. Okay, ma'am, ito po yung napag-usapan natin. Very specific po sa contract and so on and so forth. Okay. Meron kang backup plan, no? Although, minsan kahit binigay mo na yung best mo, although wala pa lamang nangyari sa amin ganon, maganda lagi naman yung feedback sa amin. Pero, may mga kasama kaming mga suppliers na nakaka-experience sa mga toxic na client. Napakadelikado, baka ipatulfo ka pa eh, no? There are even clients who are like that, no? Kaya dapat very careful ka, very very specific, no? You should have good listening skill when you speak to client, and even when we have these staff meetings sa remarkable events, I listen to their suggestions. We share best practices. Yeah, I don't monopolize the discussion. I want the meeting to be reflective, to be integrative. Then after that, we learn from one another. No, hindi lang ikaw yung nagmo-monopolize ng discussion. And eventually, from a very small flower shop in Mexico, we are now one of the most sought after event stylist and event coordinator in Pampanga and in some parts of Central Luzon. Um, Siguro ito yung dapat pa nating talagang bigyan ng emphasis, no? Let me put emphasis on this. good listening skills is very essential for you to get good results, not just good results, very good results. No, know how to listen with your client, know how to listen with your staff, no? Okay, pay attention to details. Four, organize. As I said, siguro naging parang practice ko na ito, lalo na sa klase, sa klase ko when I teach talagang very organized, no? Um Kaya lang napakalaking responsibilidad ng pagiging organizer. It entails a lot of stress, let me tell you. It entails a lot of stress. I don't want to be plastic. When you organize, you you think of everything, no? Lahat ng services, lahat ng goods na manggagaling sa inyo, um, dealing with people. Kaya I have my to-do list. I really write every detail and then organize them. Isa ito sa mga talaga napapansin ng mga client namin. When I have this concept, nandyan lang ako sa may side, sa may sulok ng stage. And then nagtataka yung mga client, bakit napaka-smooth ng transition ng program. Wala silang nakikitang tumatakbo. We have comset and we just coordinate. Then bago pa man yung program, organize na yung lahat, simbahan, no? Bago pa man yung day, alam na ng mga coordinators ko, mga staff ko, anong gagawin nila sa hotel, kung saan nagpo-photoshoot for the prenup, no? Alam na ng mga tao ko anong gagawin nila sa simbahan, all the protocols, the thermal scanner, the contact tracing form, everything. Again, it entails a lot of details. Kaya nga, ang daling magturong maging organized. Pero ito yung mahirap, maging passionate about work. Sabi ko nga, nakaka-stress, di ba? It's so stressful to organize an event. Pero kapag hindi mo mahal ang ginagawa mo, you will get tired and exhausted. And eventually, you will try to or you will tend to quit organizing events. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Siguro pwedeng ituro yung pagiging organized, pero never mo maituturo kung paano maging passionate about work. Ano ba yung pagiging passionate about work? You just don't do the job to get profit or to profit rather, to earn. Hindi lang yun ang purpose. Eh. You do the job because you love what you love what you're doing. No, sabi nga ng mga co-teachers ko, paano mo napagsasabay lahat 'yan? Eh? You are a teacher, you are an admin, you are a church leader, and then you have this event management, you have people to look into. Ang dami. Pero I think it is just that I love what I do. When you love what you do, you tend to get tired, but you will not quit. Because after nun, iba yung fulfillment, iba yung satisfaction. Kapag nakuha mo yung gusto mo at pag nagkaroon ka ng ng positive na feedback, I tell you, parang minsan let me be honest, may mga panahon na iniisip ko, bakit ko ba ginagawa to? Why am I doing this? Pinapagod ko yung sarili ko para magtrabaho. But when I see the smile of our clients, yung ngiti nila kapag yung euphoria after the wedding. Kapag nakita mo sa mukha nila yung kulang nilang halikan nila yung paa mo after the event. Oh my God. After that more, I crave for more events, no? Yun nga. Be passionate with what you're doing. Love what you do. Huh? All right. Good communication skills. I think good communication skills is needed bago pa man mapayes ang mga kliyente. Kasi para sa akin, ang mga kliyente para yung para yung mga gusto mong ligawan para mag-avail ng iyong mga services, mag-avail ng iyong mga goods. Now, if you're not good with communication skills, I think hindi mo sila mapapasagot. Hindi mo sila mapapasagot ng yes. No? You must know how to speak with them, how to convince them that your package is the best out of the rest, that they get what they want within the reach of their budget. Ayan. Iba kapag yung kaya nga may mga ang dami kong napansin dito dun sa number 6. May mga suppliers na they started as host. Then eventually they became event planner. Kasi because they have good communication skills. Tapos nung nakita nila yung background, ngayon marami ako nakita, dati host lang, hindi naman lang. Pero syempre, mas mataas pa rin yung head coordinator. Dati mga host, ngayon mga head coordinator na. No? Kasi they have good communication skills. If you have this, meron kang advantage among the rest of the competitors in the industry. um, Madaling mapasagot yung client, madaling magbigay ng command, madaling makibagay, makiusap sa mga suppliers. Yan, no? Okay. And the number 7, good stress tolerance. Hindi ako plastic. Talagang nakaka-stress. Yung minsan yung stress na feel ko hanggang mataas pa sa ano ko, sa neck ko yung stress. Pero you must know how to unload, especially when you encounter toxic clients. You must know how to unload. Dapat meron kang tandaan nyo to, dapat meron kayong mga recreational activities. Okay? Kapag wala kayo nun, magbe-breakdown kayo. You should have a good um, you should have a good or a sound mind. You should have a sound mind and a sound body. Pensano in corpore sana, sabi nga sa Greek, no? A sound mind and a sound body. Kapag hindi ganun kasi, posibleng domino effect, ripple effect. Kapag hindi mo na tolerate yung stress, magba-bounce back yan sa mga kasama mong suppliers, magba-bounce back yan sa mga client na katrabaho mo, no? Kaya you should have um, active and healthy recreational activities aside from event planning, no? Engage into physical activities, engage into something that you love aside from event planning. You sing, you dance, no? For you to tolerate stress, no? All right. Number 8, good and creative problem solver by nature. Sometimes kahit na napaka-organize mo, kahit na you pay attention to details, meron pa ring aspeto ng event na beyond your control. Halimbawa, na late si performer, si singer sa church, 'di ba? That's beyond your control. What if na traffic siya, or 'di ba na accident, wag naman pero na aksidente, something like that. So again, there are things that are beyond your control. And how you solve these small problems silently, yung may problema, pero sinusolve mo siya quietly, silently. Hindi na mamalayan ng iba na something went wrong. There is grace under pressure. You maintain this composure. Ayan, isa yun sa mga good quality ng good event planner, ng highly effective event planner. Kahit na may problema, you stay calm. Okay? Stay calm. You maintain your composure. Okay? You work out, you solve the problem quietly, silently. Wag mo sisigawan yung mga staff mo. Wala yung maidudulot na maganda. May mga nakikita ko supplier na ganun. When something went wrong, they shout over their staff. No. That is not the best way to solve the problem, no? Um Again, alam mo yung pasikot-sikot ng event planning, dapat lagi kang may backup plan. If something went wrong, you know what to do, no? All right. And the number 9, determined. Ayan. To tell you, when I was starting as a floral artist, wala akong kinikita at all. Paano yun? Nagtatrabaho ka pero wala kang kinikita? Yes. Technically, walang napupunta sa akin na cash, pero nag-i-invest ako sa gamit. Okay? Yung mga stand, alam niyo, napakahirap kasi sa styling, sa event styling. Dapat you always cope with the trend. Halimbawa, uso ang rustic. Dapat lahat ng ginagamit na pang rustic meron ka. Dried flowers, lahat, no? When I started, technically walang cash na napupunta sa akin, napupunta lahat sa gamit. Kasi ganoon talaga yung determination ko to be there, to be a reputable wedding supplier in the future. And because of that determination, I now have my new car. I was able to buy my own home. Ayan, that's because of event planning. I started na nag-loan ako sa school para makapundar ng mga gamit. Organize ng mga events para makapundar ng mga gamit. And now, I have my new car, I have my new house, I can buy what I want. Hindi naman sa pagmamayabang, but you you can now um, reap the fruit of your labor. Ang ininvest ko sa event styling at sa pag-organize ay nasa 7 digits. Okay. Pero ngayon, ang nakuha ko or ang kinita ko out of event styling and planning is more than, wag na. Just know that um merong ROI. Sakripisyo muna sa una, have this determination, no? Merong return of investment yan eventually. And I think yung number 9, ito talaga yung dapat i-apply ngayon, no? May kaibigan akong event supplier, binenta niya yung lahat ng mga gamit niya including metalworks, stands, centerpieces for 250,000, pero lahat ng yon ay amounting to almost 1 million pesos. Ganun kalaki yung give up niya. Sabi ko, why are you doing this? Sabi ko, although ako hindi ko sinosolo ang grace and blessing na binibigay ni Lord. Ito yung sinabi ko doon sa mga nagbenta ng gamit. Sabi ko, don't quit. It's as if like linipat mo lang yung bodega mo sa warehouse namin. Pero time will come na gusto mong bumalik sa event industry. You may use lahat ng naipundar mo ay hindi ka magbabayad ng rent. Kasi when I was starting, somebody also helped me, and it's also my way of giving back. No, helping this novice in the field to also get their own brand, their own trademark, their own place in the industry. No, all right. And then finally, big baggage of skills. As I said, alam ko yung pasikot-sikot ng event. I can design actually. I can do the hosting, no? Um, Sometimes hindi naman talaga yung services mo yung nagpapamahal sa iyong package. It's your name. Because if you have established this name, you have this amazing portfolio, you have this impressive portfolio, and you have those skills. I think you have, if you have already established this kind of amazing and impressive portfolio, um, what else can I say? You are on your way to stardom. You are on your way to have this big place in the event industry, no? All right. And then kanina lagi ko naririnig yung second speaker natin. Sinasabi niya kanina ito. Actually nanggaling yun kay Alvin Toffler, no? The illiterate of the 21st century are those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. You always cope with the trend. You don't stop learning. Learning stops when you are 6 feet under the ground or behind the ground. So you must know how to learn, unlearn, and relearn, as what was said by Alvin Toffler. And that ends my presentation. Thank you so much. I hope I was able to share my humble background in event planning. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jaime. And now let's proceed to our Q&A portion. If you have questions and concerns regarding the discussion today, please feel free to type your message in our chat box.
And while waiting for their questions, sir, I just want to say I was really impressed with what you said na despite nga po sa pandemic and the situation, hindi niyo po binitawan yung team niyo and ginampanan niyo yung responsibility niyo as a leader and as an event planner. I think that was really impressive and very inspiring.
Thank you.
Sir, may we read the questions for you?
Nandito ba sa chat box? Sige, okay lang
Opo.
ba? Okay, sige.
Gusto niyo po kami na lang po magbasa or okay.
Okay, sige. I now see the questions.
Okay.
How do you keep your spirit up at times when you face unexpected challenges in launching events that are not in your favor? What is your motivation? Again, you simply love what you do. That will motivate you a lot. no? That is what will keep you going, no? Kahit na hindi mo actually peg yung gusto nilang design, for example, sa styling, pero dahil mahal mo yung ginagawa mo, you embrace this change, no? Um, at I think again it all boils down to one word: passion. Passion. Love what you do and then it will motivate you, no? Meron pa, maintain composure and grace under pressure is the key to solve the problem. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. My question is, there is a time when you improve in an event because of unexpected problem before during the event. How did you manage it? Let me repeat the question. When you unexpected problem before during the event. Okay. Um when I when I encounter problems, actually meron kami na encounter na problem noon. For example, real life examples or yung nangyari talaga sa during the event. Very seldom talaga na makakalimutan yung mga wedding essentials because I have one specific coordinator taking charge of that aspect. And then there was a time na may nakalimutan, no? Actually, it was the secondary veil, kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Nasa venue kasi hindi na malayan ng coordinator na um, may mga secondary sponsor pala na kumuha dun sa kung saan nakalagay yung aming mga wedding essentials na hindi pinagpaalam. And that is beyond our control, no? Kasi naka-organize na lahat yon, then eventually may isang secondary sponsor na nakialam sa gamit namin. So, nung nasa church na kami, hinahanap ko na yung secondary veil kasi ang routine ko talaga, lahat ay settled na bago mag-start ang wedding ceremony. So, here they are. They were all my staff were all worrying kasi wala kaming gagamitin na secondary veil, no? Ang hindi nila alam, I always have plan B. Pero sabi ko nga sa kanila, maintain your composure. Don't let anyone know the problem. Let's work on this quietly. Kagaya na nabanggit ko kanina, no? I have another set of wedding essentials dun sa kotse, pakikuha. Then they all smiled. Sabi nila, "Sir, how come nag-prepare ka ng ano?" Kasi nga dapat as an event planner, meron kang plan B, plan C, plan D hanggang Z. What if? Dapat lahat ng mga what if ready ka. Okay? So, I managed to control my temper kasi pwedeng pagalitan mo yung negligence yan on your part. No? Kasi iyon na nga lang ang specific na job na para sa iyo. But then, hindi yun ang way ko. During the event, I just smiled. Sabi ko, there is another set of wedding essentials in the car, pakikuha na lang. But after the event, we have this post-assessment. Hindi nagtatapos dun yon. Kasi dapat, yung learning, mas ano ka siya, mas relevant no? Mas relevant dahil katatapos ng event, dapat right there and right after, hindi yung right during the wedding kasi mapapahiya ang iyong coordinator. And if you're going to make a scene, malalaman ng buong mundo what went wrong. Di ba? So you just try to stay calm. But after that, kapag may mali na nangyari during the process, you do the post-assessment so that next time, hindi na siya mauulit. Okay. So again, I hope I was able to answer the question. Okay, how did I manage such situation and how did I maintain composure? But again, there are things that are beyond your control. Don't shout, don't lose your temper, no? Just stay cool. All right. What else? Meron pa po ba? Baka may hindi pa ako nabasa, Miss MC. How did you postpone lahat ng nakaschedule na events noong total lockdown? Oh my God, this will make me cry. Because I lost around, imagine ng isang kliyente, nakapag-down na ng around 6 digits. Isang kliyente lang yon. Then kapag nag-cancel, oh my God. Hindi naman ako naging financially challenged dahil ito yung kagandahan ng you are an event planner. You have an end in mind. You have an end in mind. Lagi mong alam kung ano yung mangyayari in the end. I know that this is not that stable job. Okay, kaya nung malakas yung event industry, nag-ipon ako. And because of that, I was able to surpass the challenge, no? Lalo na in terms of finances. Kasi kaya nga napaka-thankful ng aking mga staff kasi kasama sila sa plano ng what if, no? At kapag nung nag-postpone kami, actually ang tanong niya, how did you postpone lahat ng naka-schedule noong total lockdown? After a year, kasi sa amin we give freebies and discounts to early bookings. So na-move sila year, siguro may naka-book kami ng 2019, ilan 'yun. Tapos this 2021 pa lang sila na-conduct, 'no? Ayun. So maraming event na naghintay talaga ng taon para bumalik ulit sa dating lahat at maging pwede ulit kahit 50% lang yung capacity sa mga venue, 'no? Pero nasa pakikiusap 'yun sa mga kliyente. Pero there were clients na nawalan din ng trabaho. Kaya kahit na alam nyo, kapag event planner na kayo at napag-aralan nyo din sa finances, paano yung sa cancellation, paano yung sa refund, kahit na meron ka ng basis para sabihin sa kanila na hindi na sila pwede mag-refund, kapag lumapit sa yung tao at sinabi niyang nawalan ako ng trabaho at yung nanay ko may sakit, yung tatay ko kailangan maoperahan, nandun yung human side. No? Pero tandaan nyo to, your contract will save you from this. You stick on what is stated in your contract. Pero siguro iba lang yung sa akin dahil I have more to share. But bakit hindi ka mag-share in this time sa pandemic? No? Pero kapag nandun na kayo at meron din kayong financial difficulty or you are also facing financial challenge, you are also financially challenged rather, you stick on what is written in the contract. Kung wala ng cancellation 3 months before the event at wala na silang refund na makukuha, you stick to that kasi pinirmehan nila yun eh. They agreed to that. Ang dami ko yatang sinabi sa tanong ni ni Sir. Okay, what pushes you to become what you are right now? Wow. Big words. What pushes me to become what I am right now? I think I'm just pursuing my dreams. I said earlier I would like to be a reputable event planner. I would like to be not somebody, but I would like what keeps me going. It's my mission of helping my fellow suppliers. It may sound corny and cheesy, pero I also accept work kahit na tabla lang ako pero may trabaho ang aking mga staff. There were even intimate weddings na tabla lang ako. I mean, wala talaga akong profit pero may trabaho ang mga worker ko. No, and that is what keep me going. That is what keeps me going. No, it's my passion, it's my mission to my fellow suppliers, no. And again, yun nga eh, it all boils down to one thing, passion. Love what you do. What is the best part of being an industry or being in the industry despite of our situation right now? Best part of being in the industry, again, being an instrument of helping other suppliers. That is the best part. Yung alam mo na because of you, meron kang mapapakain na pamilya. Alam mo na because of you, meron kang pamilya na masusuportahan. Meron kang tao na matutulungan. No? I may sound very Mother Teresa. But that is the other facet na meron ako as an event planner. Although, syempre, iba-iba tayo. We have these individual differences. Pero helping these people behind a successful event, no, yun ang isa sa mga mission ko. And eventually, I rip that. I don't expect anything in return. But the Lord knows, no? Nag-bounce back na ng ilang milyong beses sa akin. The Lord will bless you 100-fold for doing that. Okay. Meron pa bang question na
Sir,
hindi ako
I think
nabasa?
that was the
Okay.
last question. And thank you, sir, for interacting with our participants. Thank you for sharing your ideas.
Thank you.
Grabe, I feel like my brain will explode in a minute because of all the knowledge that we have learned today. Nafe-feel nyo ba ako, guys? So, to show our gratitude, we would like to award this certificate of appreciation to Mr. Mark David Jaime, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, College of Tourism, Hospitality, and Transportation Management, Department of Hospitality Management. This certificate of appreciation is hereby given to Mark David M. Jaime for sharing his knowledge as a resource speaker in the webinar, eventually adopting the new normal, entering the new realm of events management on the 10th day of June 2021. Signed by our course facilitator, Professor Hayden I. Calabig, signed by our chairperson, Associate Professor Maria Cristina Q. Trinidad, signed by our Dean, Dr. Marietta D. Reyes. May we request everyone to open your camera for our photo op with our speaker.
And may I remind again everyone to please take a screenshot with our speakers as it is required for our evaluation form. As for the audiences on Facebook Live, please also take a screenshot. Thank you.
Okay. First window, smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Next window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Fourth window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Fifth window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Sixth window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, seventh window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Eighth window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, last na po. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you so much.
Sir Mark, do you want to promote anything or your event po?
Okay, kung meron kayong kakilala na ikakasal, here in Pampanga or in Central Luzon, please do avail our services in remarkable events. Hindi lang kayo nakapag-conduct ng wedding, ng stylish na wedding within the reach of your budget. Kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, marami rin kayong matutulungang mga suppliers by referring us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And to formally close this event, may we call on our professor who guided us throughout the planning and executing of this virtual event. Let us all welcome Ms. Haydeen I. Calabig. Let us give her a virtual round of applause.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Loud
Yes,
and
ma'am. We can hear you po.
All right, thank you. So I would like to acknowledge first the presence of course, the PUPians from Manila, and I saw a while ago that we have participants from PUP Bataan. So magandang hapon sa inyong lahat, and also yung ating mga laging suki sa webinars namin from other parts of the Philippines. We have from Urdaneta City University, Capiz State University, Eastern Visayas State University, what else? FEU, Far Eastern University, Colegio de San Gabriel in Bulacan, from Iris, of course, ang aming kapitbahay sa Santa Mesa, sa Manila. What else? Pateros Technological College, Colegio de San Lorenzo, Biliran Province State University, University of Northern Philippines, Bulacan State U, and ito, meron pong mga dumadagdag sa chat box. Shout out ko lang, let me grab this opportunity. Ito, Mindanao State University, wow, maraming salamat po. Umabot kami hanggang Mindanao. Surigao, PUP Bataan, Zamboanga Peninsula, Polytechnic State University. So salamat po. At least kahit sa gantong paraan man lang ay nagkasama-sama tayo, no? Virtually, pero at least meron po tayong medium of communicating and reaching out with other universities, schools, and students. No? Okay. From what we have today, before anything else pala din, so our guest speakers, so the first speaker is Mr. Matoog. Then we have Mr. Acapulco, we have Mr. Jaime as the last speaker. Maraming salamat po sa inyong tatlo. And sa my colleagues, kanina po I saw Ma'am Tet Villar and Ma'am Caris Cunanan. Maraming salamat po for attending our webinar, the third group webinar. So that's it, no? I was very honored to hear the side of the three speakers kasi malapit po sa aking puso ang events din dahil ako po ay sabihin nating supplier. Kami naman po kasi ay nasa entertainment industry. So it makes me sad na for how many years, for a year and so, no, in a few months, is talagang apektado po yung aming industry din. Kasi nga, we provide entertainment naman. I'm part of a cultural band po kasi, which is Banda Kawayan Pilipinas. And sabi ko nga, itong darating na June 12, ay, ano yun? Itong darating na June 12 is supposedly our Independence Day, no? Usually, yung June 12 na yan, yung tugtog namin is 2 to 3. 2 hanggang 3 sa isang araw. Parang ito yata yung second time na wala kaming tugtog. As in, I remember clearly, may tugtog kami, for example, from SM Manila. We have to transfer to SM San Lazaro. And meron pa isa, no, SM Mega Mall. So, inaano namin yun, no, inaararo namin yung mga venue na yun kasi talagang simultaneous siya pag June 12 because we are celebrating yung tinatawag natin na Independence Day. So, sabi nga ni Sir Jaime kanina, nakakalungkot, diba, sir, na biglang nawala ngayon kasi talagang booming na yung industry natin or masigla na yung industry natin in terms of MICE or events. So, anyway, so this afternoon, so Mr. Matoo gave us the importance of having plan B to Z. Diba? I always tell my events class students na anything can happen. So kahit na nag-dry run tayo ngayon, baka bukas iba yung mangyari. Katulad po kahapon, no? Maulan sa Manila. Ngayon, medyo makulimlim lang, mas matagal yung araw. Sabi ko, expect nyo na baka magkaroon ng signal problems, diba, internet connection problems. So anything can happen kahit na okay tayo ngayon, baka bukas ay hindi. So we pray for the best. What else? Of course, the importance of transparency with the client. You have to be transparent when you transact with your guests, with your clients. With Mr. Acapulco naman, we've learned with making the most out of what we have already. Diba? So talagang inisip nila kung ano pwede nating gawin. Hindi pwede mag-events, ano yung pwede nating gawin kung ano yung meron tayo ngayon, diba? You have to be resourceful and making the most of what you have already. So you have to be resourceful and utilize everything. Love what you are doing. Diba? Kailangan mahalin mo yung trabaho mo. And of course, from Mr. Jaime, so the pandemic gives us the chance to become a blessing to others. So hindi porket hihirapan tayo with regards to events planning, events management dahil konti yung event na pumapasok, is ganun pa din, no? Kailangan maging blessing ka pa din sa iba despite the hardships that we are encountering right now. So again, yung essence of being responsible to your staff and to your client, diba? Hindi lang sa client, pati sa staff mo, you should be responsible as well. And he also said that we have to love what we do and don't stop learning. No? So kahit anong mangyari, sa events kasi iba-iba no? Ako, ang tagal ko nang tumutugtog, ang tagal ko na nagper-perform, pero every performance is unique. Every event is unique. Madaming nangyayari na wala naman to sa plano, di ba? So what will we do? No? What can we do? So, ayun, after this pandemic, I'm very positive naman na magiging na tayo, no? Na magiging masaya na tayo and magsasama-sama na tayo ulit sa mga events that will make us, sabihin natin yung ating mental health, no, ma-improve na natin, maging masaya na tayo, kasama na natin yung mga friends natin, yung family. So, that's it. Thank you everyone for attending and have a good day.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Hayden. I can't believe that we're reaching the end of this event. I hope you're still with us, guys. Can you give me a thumbs up? Let me see the thumbs up. Okay, we're still complete. Before we end our event, let us first sing the PUP hymn. For our life's prizes, we will be having a raffle for those participants who kept their cameras open until from the beginning until the end of our event. The winner will be awarded as the face of the day and will receive a cash prize. So first our wheel, okay?
So these names in the wheel are our chosen face of the day. There will be two winners among these names.
So congratulations to Miss Colleen May Velasco. May I call on the attention of Miss Colleen? Can you open your camera and unmute yourself? We'll give you 20 seconds. Ay, hello. Ayan, ang bilis. Hello, Miss Colleen. Ayan. So wait for our finance head to message you so you can claim your prize. Ayan, from PUP Manila again, Mr. Joshua Luis Maanyo. Mr. Maanyo, are you still there? Can you open your camera and unmute yourself?
Panalo ulit. Hi, hello. Thank you po. Woo!
Ayan, very competitive ni Mr. Maanyo. Thank you so much for all of the winners. Please wait for our finance head to message you so you can claim your prize.
Congratulations, guys! Kindly scan the QR code that you can see on the screen for our evaluation form. Only those students who answer the evaluation form will be given an e-certificate. And to those who cannot access the QR code, we will send the evaluation link on the chat box. The evaluation form will be closed after 3 hours. On behalf of Team Onse, we would like to thank all of our professors who attended this event. Thank you very much. To all the participants from PUP and other universities, thank you for joining us, and we hope you learned something from our speakers that you could use in the future. We would also like to thank our amazing speakers. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us today, and we're really, really grateful. To our advisor, Ms. Hayden Kalabig, thank you for your guidance, and we're really happy that we experienced organizing and handling this virtual event. To our beloved section, PSHM 33B, thank you for all the support since day one. And lastly, to Team Onse, thank you for all the hard work, and you all deserve rest. Stay safe, everyone, and I hope to see you all soon when everything is back to normal.
It's been an honor to be among such accomplished individuals and to be able to host this virtual event. I don't want to end this event, but I know that we'll see each other soon. We've achieved so much in the time we've been here and gained a lot of knowledge too. This event is finished, of course, But it doesn't really stop here, and it'll soon be time where I can see each one of you standing at the same position as our three guest speakers. I've enjoyed today enormously, and I hope you all have too. Thank you so much, our dear participants. All of you taking time out of your busy schedule means the world to us. And if any of you ever needs me to talk in your behalf, just know that, and I sincerely mean this, guys, I'm probably unavailable. Kidding aside, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining us today. God bless you all.
To our organization of notable series of events, Onse would like to thank the following. Special thanks to Richard Inchong, Jaime Inchong, Regeline Cabral Hernandez, and Marife Hobitado. Thank you very much. And for our evaluation form, we already sent the link in the chat box. It will be closed after 3 hours. Thank you and stay safe. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you po.
Thank you so much, guys, and have a nice day. For our winners, you can message our Facebook page to claim your prize. Thank you.
Thank you po. You may now leave the room. Thank you.
Hello everyone, you may leave the Zoom. We already sent the evaluation form in the chat box. You can view it there. And reminders that it will be closed after 3 hours.